Ghana ntini ye ha. Say baby I drew ni de ye hia moa. Ye hia moa pa. E moa kase pa ni ye hia. Oh yes. DwaboAse DwaboAse.
Thank you, Jesus. We thank you, Jesus.
Ono anade mo ane be ma yen ne nsem na mo ane wo wono anade de ehia ye be ma yen wo sabre ya ene World Bank ebo amane se oman Ghana wo se de normal AC kono by 2025 ohia ya achechire yen ohia ya adokro yen ebe ma ne homene so ebe ma ne muso ebe ba be do 33.2% as of 2022 na ohia achechire oman Ghana ejina 27% by 2025 we dey gap no by 2025 oh here one my Ghana be man home so edu 33.2% was sabre ya Ghana for bebre eda komi was sabre ya no ma boa kokoko soro was sabre ya bayi nya na dwen se ye sika sem no wo ba ye hu bibi oh ye hiamwa and wabra normal way sisi we ye Ghana ni na wo ya hwehan na wo guso na wo defend o mo wa ban mu a eya me hunu de men kan jaw eto pa cha se wo foa boni ya ban edidi ye so does it mean say wo support aban yi say won kwaso ana ne normal wa ye won kwaso ana sidi na ho de ne mafom eti ye betra se aya hwehan enka bibia nja ban yi ama cedi yakwaso aba fom and I yakasa cedi to dollar 17 cedis mama penso bra na gina 4 cedis na ye twabo do mama na ye twabo no adenti na ne baumia penso sabra cedi to dollar egina 17 cedis a eno ma boa ye dendendin e wo memu e dia manfo bebra ko hiemu ena manfo nya sika entuo mu danka efie wura ahodo etu nkofo ena manfo ni baabi omudi omuti beto ena manfo ko dwom no mo hihye omo no ma no mo paisa manfo emeta obi ama sise sika ni mo nkofo beto eti sabre ye beye kom ni ye defend nkofo we mo asofo no ma mo ye Christopher asabre mo ma sorry ma woman ba sorry a say be a collection time no mo to no mo hwe wanim saa enye say be a collection no mo ni o sika ni wo enye say be a tua no mo beso metia o sika na eni wo etia Christopher chidi for mo wa he ekremo for mo wa he mo pe ade papa dia mo my Ghana mo wo so my ne da makoma so boni ahodo ayedidi man nti mo hunu no ye na ye paranoid da bia ya na betra radio so na ye kasa say na I don't get it me na me hunu man ni ya na e dia de na mo hunu me hunu mo da bia mo sori na mo defend ba omia no mo da bia mo sori na mo defend akufo ado no e dia de na mo hunu me hunu because I had a sabia no way and now national health insurance card as soon fast way dia yi and a man for to be to BP dro a man for to be to malaria dro a man for to be to cholesterol dro eti ya batira ho afua de boni we so no say what one why you wadwen say wo ba beto aba de ma ba omia say one to bibi say so a na chese wo de opesa da bia Ghana say yo no say ye no na monte ase World Bank say as of 2022 na ye ka ohia wasem e wo man Ghana na ye wo hanchiche mu aduonu nso 27%. Sabra ni mu na baumia mo kofa e-levy de beto ye so. Sabra ni mu eno mo kofa e-levy beto ye so. Na bra mo kofa e-levy de beto ye so no. Omo twamfonyi bi kire say e-levy ye omo de abayi ebebu abie kwan na ma 11 million jobs. Ye benya 11 million jobs. And that's 11 million jobs in a way. Maybe sir, 11 million jobs in a way. You catch us a e-levy ya debe, and one ye begin so dear ya quine. E-levy and one ye begin so at the SCC Suku die, and one ye begin so at the SCC Ayada Sabia. Yagusuchi Mombo Twa Ayada Sabia no way. Suku die no way. A quina ye, yes, sir. You begin e-levy sway in a way. Maybe sir. Dabia ya soria na ye bonya me so mpaye wode asase ya dom ya teye wo se ye ndi so de so no ma nyinara tumi na nyame de ache mu na wai Ghana for tumi na nyame de ache mu no ewai ada na ye nyina ya dane masa na under human rights lawyer hwe yaka dia ye de ye nkofo wo mamu a ye ba tonto sansan na me do bako abetifi asami ba Minkah bi na me twen bi asa na me hwe ani mu se mampanyi aso ye no abeba abonte abe condemn ne e course wo na me hwe ani mu se IGP abeba abonte abe condemn post ni na wo di ani mu a na ye de sa yaka de no eye oba panyi no mama kenya ahwinsi ye obi ankasa ye ada na mama Ghana tete sa ada na mama moja nyuro my Ghana sa oh Lord ana Ghana maburu o mani daso nyina sa o mu gidi a o mu benya o mu mamu no eni hope yo ye ni gidi wo court ni mu amanfo ni gidi wo amanyofo bu enam eseya MPP abanye kadia to eseya MPP abanye kadia to and amanfo ni gidi wo amanyofo mu oni obi e kasa na amanyofo no de wo mu nyina ye pe and that is a lie and for crowns so ye da wo ntem Mahama penso na cedi to dollar eye 4 cedis and na baumie ya wodwa nanum bebrebe na penso cedi to dollar eye 17 cedis. Look at the difference is clear. It amanyofo no munya pe they are not the same. No me jawe so be phone lines and that's one give me your phone lines no dia me ken say me bo abeka kire me me say mo hwe na phone lines ni nya adwuma and me pese me temo nka adentina yaye kroma no ma we ye di ye adentina ye nyina yaye di ni ye de ayaka de we edi Ghana for asofo no mo wai enkremofo mpanifo mo wai mo anano ni adwa to am no mo wai na Samina baumia ejina songo communities na wosu adan wosu ha yento abama ni kuru mi wa ni kuru ya na nza no adwumanti and then World Bank ka kire say by 2025 Ghana for over 30% and be here 2022 na Ghana for 27% and be here baumia nza no adwuma no the phone lines are activated. Baby, I will be a brother. Come on, you need come away. 0208984166 050000257. First caller about hello money within a baby of free. I'm walking free. As of far. I'm walking here to you.
Oh, sir. Manado Greshona. Yeah, well, a month and a phone. As you must say. Ensaka court ye adwuma enkasa do ntebesi
bisabio
je fa blame no mana nado
me da say amako me da say human rights lawyer Nanado Danko Akufuado with the endorsement of Baumia and Oba Penini Abona Deja for Ghana Montaine's war Oba hima and Yabona Deja and Yayana Yaka dear. President Akufuado, You're beautiful, Rebecca. You're about. What money you answer your ma? Hello, morning. Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Meton kapabo ni na baby of free.
Abu kokomre
Abu yentie way.
Fine. You put me over NTC yet, no NTC near disappoint action. Then yet, NTC by never what you do, Cromano. NTC was on by who but Roman is about to move to Mumma, Moon, Country, and we are what?
Me say. At the $17 and for 17 cities dollar to cities 17 cities 4 cities and your pet mama personnel 4 cities but me person 17 cities it can never be the same. Hello morning within a baby of free.
Now Kwame Minkah.
Me just so within a baby of free.
Me pass your friend Bright because of free abuso kai.
Bright masa mama ke so you.
Me pass your name be any papa do zebra big old nyami enka papa no papa na ombo no mba. Hwe yin na yeti o mai mo ye hu President Lawrence Amamo ene ye hu President Kufo Amamo ene hu ye papa John Dramani Mahama to Amamo da uhwe Amamo ye a President Akufo-Addo any Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebu ya obeka say yes more mo say omo bra be say Ghana.
Can you imagine?
Because uhwe de ekosu o man Ghana mu na ye amanfo tuo ye amanfo ayakaya ye President Akufo-Addo kan hu hwe ye election e ma ye ku nipa ba ko 9 President Akufo-Addo enti tu ni VAT enti me akose okotra busiafo da ye tsewu ema ye ku Swale President Akufo-Addo anka hwe ebese nne
yes
ye din wansem ye tisa ho omukoku Swale iti President Akufo-Addo eni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia sa Ghana for 7 December antu abanti omo na omunim nye mistake na minister Ghana for so nye mistake ekotu abama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
That's right. The woman you know your pet. They say who Bawumia who Akufo-Addo. Who Akufo-Addo who Bawumia. Omo your pet. And into America for Antoine Kamala Harris. Because Omo Kamala Omo who Biden. Omo Biden Omo who Kamala. Omo your pet they are the same. But between Mahama and Bawumia no and so away. Mahama a Canada 120 billion and under Bawumia ne Akufo-Addo. I can't now 747 billion Ghana cedis. Hello, morning.
Hello.
We need a baby of free.
Pacho, me talk with me free, Pafra.
Talk with NTO.
Okay. Pacho, Mika, brofo.
Talk with Gaza. NTO.
My question is MPP drawing another constitution for Ghana?
Why are you asking?
I don't understand because 1992 constitution is clear over there. Even a class 1 student can interpret it without any problem. But I don't know why the leading people at the Supreme Court will be doing this to Ghana, will be doing this to mankind. And I'm very, very, very disappointed. So if they are writing another constitution for Ghana, then they should let us know.
But that's why. And what's some way, and in the venerable Chachuchi Katakaino, and in say the constitution can be overthrown not just by people in military uniforms, but people in wigs. People in wigs and gowns too. They can overthrow the constitution. Chachuchi Kataneka, same way. So last caller. Hello, man. We need a baby of free.
Make us a free DwaboAse.
DwaboAse near Frosty.
Your family, Robert.
Robert, you tell.
This year, well, to be Etna Akufo-Addo MPP administration, what to me, China. And you buy a certificate of survival because you're bread. And so be a certificate of survival.
You're bread. Me that's it. Ya bro, ya bread. And all what come say NDC for the Piane. Can you imagine? Bra ya bra ntibu. bra ye bra hwenim guase aka my Ghana and for the first time my Ghana bakwasemu ye de ka ye ntimi ntwa ye ka and ye nam ne pa cho say ye ka ne ye ntu nseda look aban a obeba say ye mahama say ye hwan mahama aban no nam kwa so oba mahama aban ne ba from 2025 adeso ye aban di atwe eno no oba be so ba mia mo na ma omo bo abro omo kasa nyina no nientia omo kasa mfa economy no won say one they know say the next administration no enyo omo administration because economy no na here Ghana for and within the economy no e cash for my Ghana any here say e was ye tuaka no it is hard this one no omo no ma ja to omo kwa etida omo kwagina simpie so no omo ye campaign na to omo ni asa. They don't discuss issues here. Omo kan show kwan yo mbefa so no ma you my Ghana every sa man ye ya omo di abetu mi because they know say omo kwa omo di awie do a park di agunim pass a park agunim pass di odi sika na koto or maybe a etu age etu atua ehi omo no e di akoto di odi akoto or maybe a yefro no tax haven no what is sika na koto on found. And that is why Abraham Mahama said, what the operation recover all loot, operation recover all the loot. A broadcast as a nobia eboseno. And Ghana for any the so President Mahama ne wodom. Some banner operation recover all the loot. Manya Ghana for Ebenaniabamoso. And I know you will do it because President Mahama adia wo pese wo jaya wudi. And less than 4 years. When you ma wo ye de wo jade to ho ene no na ban no e de bo no asafo yene ene aban ya woni bibia de kire eje garam say ya etwa ye ho achie yi ene start to be a wakosie e wo western region no ene wonyu ma wo jade to ho no ma ha be ene eno ena aban yi de bo na ho asafo yene Yakai, well, last state of the nation's address. The Okafa, Jacob Bechabilamte, interchange. The Okafa, Pokwasi, interchange. The Okafa, Tamamoto Way expansion. The Okafa, a year, Sprinter's flower pot, a Kwanya Yaye. Amade, when you be a Kosua, when you know Yamion Pabone, what pure metico, Momode Sankofa, and Asakosiwano. Sankofa Nesiwano, Eka Bibi Achagana for Mr. Mahama was unregimented in less than 4 years and a year way. Obentia Wakasa Bebe, Yaman 4 years, Mienu, 8 good years. What has he got to show? A brasso said, Ya good Yamon Sambebramo. A botel abatina say, Fanny Zutanechi, Roger Tanechi, Yanina Tanechi. Brasso, a good Yamon Sam Ebrenie, Ebo Marchina to say.
I mean, I don't be boko. That is Osha. I did them way.
Not Tazen, what did you them?
I did
Yawada.
What's not so bad.
Or if you had that. Tell them action day.
Yeah. You progress to Friday.
Call a big friend was say, yeah, bro, yeah, bre. And the number of times I can't, yeah, bre, no, I could feel it.
Yeah.
Say, and I brantia was so. And I say, won't be Piao dying Kenty. About for our man, when you say, Kohini, Nifia were Yinesi Abonting, and an enormous Guabonting wolf. Abrantia no suko, Siapo, what could a body crata?
Of course, we could
and a body crata, and yes, and yes, where quadrunio. What did I pay Juma as when you be? Meanwhile, Baumia catcher, yes, will be 11 so. I did 11 million jobs about
11 million.
So 11 million away. What some Brant here?
I will be. I got my son crabs when you cry.
The Hannah
side, and outdoors were outdoors too.
And running in Asia Tron so. I don't know dangerous no. Because President, yeah, I could almost make my baby. Anna,
you know, I must say, I'm motion penny for an Colanos with the children, and Colanos didn't run a frat.
A dangerous distance. And then I cost a William Samuel call.
All right, then I don't pay at night, Sano, a good young one, Semi and Saka, and I don't pay. Yet the Abraham Unim said a blast house of Ghana, a Dutch and Amujina Kono, Angola, Luanda, and Bonte, so, and Honsa Bebra Sanso, and Dra, or Rat, Jonathan, Abepobi, El Corner Line Sports, so, a Radio XYZ, and some of the two Jano, now we are deep. Don't say, Bebra, you be room now, Coco Kumasi Asante Kotoko omo yes signings bi and hon sembe bro na eremu ewo amanone unim say African Cup of Nations qualifiers and also course yeah the results be bro na eremu ewo South Africa unim say omo FA president omo chini to mu but one bill no so ensema course nyina e betumi e de abro yetna se sana me producers no Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch and akojo fozu fandi and me so abede ensem no ebrem dino ebo Taylor ye betina se sa no dwumeko bi na no pe waso ase ade agode mu ensem no ebrem no Dovita Herbal Clinic o se men kan chaw se omri Dovita man capsules aba eno FDA fo agyatum se do tetahwe enti no bema wa ye mre e won pawru de edura wo se wunya wonu mu nie wonu ma obehu se wa fele se wo ye bema wonu ma obehu se bibisurunku bi aba mu wonu ma obebo adwuma na ma fele enti no Dovita man capsules no hwe bi na nom na bibia nkoye emfa won bema de o se utumi ye ho aduro na utumi eto nwom de efra o se min ka jaw se omri Dovita herbal medicine so aba no blood cleansing with blood vessels no esanso serve as immune booster na toxic materials oni pedua no be boa ejini nyina every wo enti no uyo bia waist pains how body pains waist constipation and also how you should Dovita herbal medicine bi na nom na bibia nkoye emfa ma sanso na uyo bia wo menstrual problems menstrual pains o se wunya duro bi na wonom ma ebetumi ejini nyina enso every wo edi ama sanso na sexually transmitted infections wunya bia no so no betumi efrio edi amount Dr. Dovi Osemin Kancho say almost 24-hour delivery service nationwide and no 24-hour economy na ya sha ase no ntino time ope bibia no edro no benya bi ato na obenya bi so anom opa obetumi afre numbers way 0246265313 and 0502716076 WhatsApp number no so 0502716076 ope Dovita Mancaps ni bi ato Okashi drugstore no Accra Abetsam ewo ho na Ebikra drugstore first floor of Adipa House Sanso and a Kingswalk Herbal Angel Herbal Repash Herbal Nana Boachi Herbal Little George ewo Temalari and Larry Pharmacy a shaman Ekus Herbal and so ewo shaman Redeemer Herbal ewo a shaman except the Lord Herbal Center and so so many better drono upedodo na to a uko awosh elang taxi station ha obenya bi ato ewo ho Dovita Herbal Clinic say min catch us say good health is our concern. Yemfi ho na yenhye nsem na se ni nrenra nsem mu dia na yebewrem na ya start ewo the blasters of Ghana akache unim sem branch no ejina kono a yehwe nim se Dutch na omni Angola betumi edi esie ni denden endra branch no etumi etufi Ghana makopie mu ewo Luanda Angola embont ni so na endra branch no ekono omutumi etufia ede awia obukopie mu na ade asapa ntudisi ameno ka se de branch no etumi akoduru a yehwe nim se bibia bekoye enso edi amomo wo ho ni no kase no match no ebetimi abaso ewo Luanda embont no so ewo Estadio 11D Novembro ewo Luanda Angola embont no so na ende embrante na kodru no 8 p.m. local time embrante no betimi aye training session a ye hwenim se bibia bekoye enso edi amomo na ye ba ye group no mu a onim se Ghana ye 2 points pe Angola ewo 12 points na 12 points na omo no Ghana ase match ye mu pa 10 points difference ena ewom ye hope se bibia bekoye edi ama oman konkron Ghana nanso no wo embra before a embrante no ebetu efi Ghana ha no omutumi ekopie mu ekoye donations enso edi majowulu special school eno ewo Accra ha omutumi ekoye donation kese pa edi ma enkola omonso ewo ho no esanse match a ebetodwa edolchina na no ye din pa enti no se omo ye donation omo frɛ se favor bi entumi embra Ghana fa na sa game ni entumi enwini wo ho na Sudan no nso no omutumi enlusu omo match a ombetumi agbo no so omlusu dia na hope no etumi aye din pa enso ewo ho na embrante a omutumi ekopie mu a omo ye donation no edima jolu special school no say ne sitia captain Jordan Ayu na lead team no sanso na Kingsley Shindra ekahubi Lawrence Atizigi Abdul Fatah Isha Haku Gideon Mensah Rashford Yeboah Cornisdorfer sanso ɛna Razak Simpson we ene embrantia omko pie mu ɛwɔ Jowlu special school omtumi ekoye donation no enso ɛde ɛmɔ na ɔmo a ɔmuka ɔmo a ɔmuka team no a ɛne ɔmo kɔɛ no ɛyɛ team manager Black Stars team manager Amidu Shadow sanso ɛna director of communication Henry Asante Chum ɛna director of Ghana Football Association Foundation no Malcolm Epiedu we any mpenifo a omuka Black Stars players no a omutumi ekoye donation no enso edema enkola omo Jowlu special school na yeka Jowlu special school no unim se endra ewo corner line sports already XYZ kan corner line sports no eda Mondays Wednesdays any Fridays 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. endra ye ne veteran football administrator and the Jonathan Abepobi na enidi enkomo efa Black Stars so na eba Black Stars sia enye team ni nye enunti na players no kra no omutumi donation a omukọ favor emre omafa na Jonathan Abepobi kan say o si Black Stars no as you waste resources or Black Stars omukọ a pin kra omufe bi mba Ghana yentie nsem a Jonathan Abepobi edituga
various governments said that we are wasting our resources. The Sun said they are spending over $500 million on Black Stars. In fact, the deputy has a by the bar, not still $100 in nobody what is the kind of move over $500 million? Black Stars of Africa, or women of the Bono say, cameraman, or could try to work out, but this is 50,000.
Ntino we Jonathan Abepobi in sama odi atuja say Black Stars speak cry for being banda ntino me we sika bebre wo mo so owie no na odi to aso o ka say o si players no ase o mo church o mo ho Black Stars na players no ehia national team more than national team ehia Blacks players no yentie nsema Jonathan Abepobi di tuja
as say who ma players say we don't need players in the Black Stars we don't need the players so we need we left and right and now we player they will say, "Who knows piano?" I don't know piano. But in the team, no contest. What about Germany? How about it? What about Germany? I mean, they don't know that. Oh, you watch it. Actually, I don't know what business.
Entino we nsema veteran football administrator Jonathan Abepobi nsema odi tudwa ndra mra yen kasa corner line sports radio XY yen to aso na yefi ho na yen konse from there na yekobi biani Go Stars head coach adedin e Frimpong Manso den nsem atudwa ne oka nyina ne se Black Stars players no omo suban omukita no enye ntino so omsesa yentie nsema Frimpong Manso edi tudwa.
About plan. It's not about plan. It's all about plan. It's about the attitude. They should try and change it, there. Because never from. So, we just pass it. So, I said they are praying for somebody. Start them, and there's also need to be guys. When guys are there, over to my drop plan, whatever, we'll do that. Over competence, it will not work because attitude, no, they just pass it on. As I've said, in front of us, or one. Until the last 20 minutes after we had dinner. That is why I think I know a person of game not right now. I am more difficult for the team. I think that and that's all a change. Oman is since I also no dinner.
Entino we nsema Frimpong Manso edi tujo we no na oto aso eka se sisia no as Black Stars qualification de nyanko ano no eno AFCON qualification no ne okan se sisia no Black Stars players a omo team no mu Emmanuel Entries Razak Simpson no o se omunya playing time no mutumi enya confidence bi ewo local players no san se qualification de nyanko entino mo ma local players a omo team no chance.
You see, and here is a situation already almost let's play them. Then now, they should prove to Ghanaians that almost you're ready, almost to me a boss. So they shouldn't joke with this CHAN qualifier against Nigeria. And so and then qualify us to the CHAN and then try and then win that cup there.
Ntino Frimpong Manso and I tell in canon ni krakrabon and I order to also say or see Otuado no sisi no say why frustrated. Ntino or say Ghana obia a support you Otuado.
The opportunity plan could be media try. Yes. One if can qualify but say no any you check to no crown for a bad thing. So they say no players on no person of film. I think so also used to wait for that exercise. Ready for the World Cup qualifier. It's me again and Ghanaians we need to support him because they say no we're not any way. And they say baby or to see say Obeni will be for where my encounter and our couple way and away no let's stop that. And then and then we serious you help them ready.
We Bibiani Ghost Stars head coach performance on Kana Tia. If you na Yanko Angola head coach Pedro Gonçalves or also the same Atuja FA Black Stars a gamer or China betumi on bono na and some or can say a Black Stars Ghana Africa football no be a penny pound woman so no a chances say Ghana betumi qualify the heading pan e sense omu wini kra qualification omunya na omu depend on Sudan game no before betumi qualification yenti sama Pedro Gonçalves dituja.
I guess Ghana is always special. Ghana is one of the best countries of football in Africa. They have wonderful players, especially in midfield sector and attack sector. So I feel that Ghana, for sure, in the moment, they believe, well, the chances are very low, it's true, the chances to Ghana qualifying, because they not only depends to them, and Sudan just need a 1 point in 2 matches. So yeah, will be very difficult for Ghana to achieve the AFCON, but well, he's playing football and with wonderful players in the good atmosphere for sure, good stadium, good pitch. So let's play football and try to beat one of the best countries of football.
Gonçalves and Kennedy and we are not the two also say or say a Black Stars players 8 every team no or say a Shenopa say players 8 to me every Black Stars team no.
I'm not happy because some players that key players, but others will be present. Players like Mohamed Kudus, Jordan Ayew, Mensah, Seydou, Owusu, and others like Bukari scored 1 goal to us. Other ones, Fatawu. One of he belonged to the Sporting Academy. He's very good player. Nuama. So there is wonderful players coming. So for sure will be a tough match, very tight, but in the end we will try to win them.
Intino Pedro Gonçalves Orieno and other two also say or say about Black Stars game or Cherry Bona be na ekasa a fixed match. Esan say Angola no qualify with plus we unbeaten with 12 points. Ewe group no and a Ghana so ewe 2 points you hear win na Sudan so lose na yetumi afa ho etumi nya qualification or say omo ka say match no a fixed match no or say omo boa obi aboa.
For sure not. It's absolutely impossible with me. In the controlling, the managing, forget on me. I honor I honor my work. I honor the match. I honor my opponents and my players. So forget, it's absolutely impossible. We will do our best. I don't know the score for sure. It's football. Everything could happen, but fixing the match.
We and some Pedro Gonçalves or do to Jono head coach Edima Angola national team yefi na yenkon se from there na yeko Asante Kotoko akache abrantia the ede Albert Amoa abrantia no isia no ho ato na match a weekend we Asante Kotoko ebetumi abono abrantia no ebetumi abobi enso ho na match na Beche United last week Kotoko boy na fosu ji abo park no abrantia no ntumi ambobi esanse no ni injury esisia me no ka say no ni ho atona after say washe 5 goals in 8 matches no this year no back Kotoko ebia goal scoring difficulties omo season we mu no ombetumi a bounce back no betumi win this game ombetumi abon this weekend no so ho yenko Accra so folk enso akache ono so no omo player ne so no din de Asamoah Boateng Singapore club ya the din de Duli Pegiran etumi ato abrantia na sign no for 2.5 years na 2.5 years na has of folk aton abrantia no ede ama Duli Pegiran no abrantia no has of folk ebetumi age $150,000 and so if you are and also no as house of folk bottom ebe depan enso ho yen for na yen concern from na yen to me enso so dia na ye ko endra AFCON qualifiers games to me e bass no results no say na city Namibia omutina afie any Cameroon enso ebo 0-0 draw enso ho sanso na endra biom no Liberia etina afie Togo ebo meka bakwa omuntumi anti Chad enso etina afie omuni Sierra Leone ebo 1-1 draw ho and South Sudan omuni Congo bebo Equatorial Guinea and Algeria enso betumi edi esieni Lesotho and Central Africa Republic Burundi and Malawi Madagascar and Tunisia bebo Rwanda and Libya enso betumi abo Niger etina afie no ne Sudan enso abo match we Ghana obia ehwebi na yetete say Ministry of Youth and Sports kra omo base supporters e de akotogo say omo ko support Sudan and say omo ko support Niger no mutumi enhye Sudan e was a game na enso etumi e baso no enumu na Benin enso etina fie no Nigeria abo omo wi Burkina Faso and Senegal enso ebetumi ebo enso ho and the Nations League no Kazakhstan omo ni Austria bebo omo wi ani Armenia and Faroe Island enso etumi e de awin time so France and Israel Slovenia and Norway North Macedonia and Latvia omo wi ani Republic of Ireland and Finland Greece and England omo wi ani Belgium enso and Italy enso etumi e de apem so ho na yes sorry so no FIFA epese or the new rules e de ba football mu you see ano opese o change VAR oyen FVS and no e football video support and no e ba coaches no and be favor coaches and no say bet say VAR na but and no coaches benya more authority on the video assistant referee say e bia BBC omo twa player bi coach no adwin say sa twa mu twa no e fa wo
be waste time kwa
obekọ referee ni nchen na okaka che ne say onkọhwe video na so okọhwe video no in case no okọhwe video na say enye foul eno no chances no onya ontumi mfre say referee enkohwe video biabiom onya or two chances pe na say first chance anko ye dia only the second chance but of first one say referee enkohwe video bi na say e foul odi nu credit then or second chance so betimi afre another we
when simple omo ba che say VAR na omo de buy no de na was say etio no etimi anye but it is say I see the coach be let us have for the you know ni sunsanso ni bi nye
say ba NFL ni mu e wo
we ye there machine what me say ni pada
me say ni pa no de
machine what me say ni pada
eno de no kre
omo be say boy
is that so time waste you know be so rough because bibia obi to say you say Morino now one man the chance we or be ha coaches
or be referees
or be ha referees et no yes Brown no Kwame see na DwaboAse what so e dia my producers Roger Emmanuel the sportsman and Akojofus Fundy and I mean so Dino Butila Kwame Minkah DwaboAse dia man
ebo me na say agudiyom sam na ebo Taylor de bre na no pay wa DwaboAse o power 97.9 ye be boy tonton sansan mi be wura Memphis Central ye wia and the human rights lawyer Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo chairman of the police council economic wastegate wa bra sika samanwe ne say cedi $2 ejina 17 cedis e bro 4 cedis no wo mo sanso eye oba hima yakayaka de wa bra ba omiaka na no atum na Nanado so fo aso e de na kire ye bebo wo tonton sansa bransa na no efiada tuntum no eba ewo Class House Electronics aye de amanfo de anigye ne ahurusie e na eba wura Class House Electronics omunim so obuba wura Class House Electronics wa bro bototo no ma no benya akyede ahodo oh yes Title Friday Black Friday ebeye de amazing gifts free gifts oto ade ne echawade oto ade ne echawade oto ade ne echawade na enzi wow hwe oba na beye shopping na obeto air conditioners blenders irons washing machines gas cylinders tabletop fridges and in the keka one oh my goodness Class House Electronics ebesa chawade surunku bi one kasa odi enije na be wura December bosumi mo say December bosumi mu de enye enije nkwa by December 10 na enije na ma ne homene so bronya bramu de enije na be ma ne homene so sa ye de enije wura 2025 eti ba bi enije na mfiti ase wo eye Class House Electronics tuanamone ko mo nchen omuni bra ye wo mu yi omuni said ye formation aye den eti omo no ma no bo no wo fam esaso ye no ma papa from 059890 2908 059890 2908 Class House Electronics. Ghana baby abekobi omo ho. I'm in Potoka Crown, I'm in Potoyache. Guess what's happening this year? 2024 is a Maribou Festival Accra 2024. And then yes, I know 16th on. And I know 15th and okay, now 14th. Okay, Jumadia Yibaso on the 16th of November. So this year we are excited to announce the upcoming Maribou Festival 2024. And this is organized by the Tem Awurana Council in Greater Accra. The event is taking place from October 26th to the 16th of November 2024. And the expectation is that there'll be a greater turnout than last year, allowing more people to experience the vibrant traditions and heritage of the Tem Kotokoli people. And trust me, event organizers, they are committed to showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the Kotokoli people. And they are going to enhance the visibility of this year's festivities with exciting programs. And also the introduction of distinguished audience and guests that are joining this year's event. So joining us for this year's Maribou Festival 2024 is the former president, the president who is coming back again, President John Dramani Mahama. Traditional leaders are what ones over Bedjumedia say. Political reps are coming into this event, youth groups, community members. And remember on the 14th of November, and a day, Tem Aliyah Kozo, which is the Miss Tem Grand Finale. And on the Bebaso, it's a man on the Oma who for Munim dear, Oma who for my Eba Bachania Siakai, near Yidi Obedi Kunim. And then on the 16th of November, and on the year a Gabon Kasankasa, Gabo Kasiano. 16th of November, and your day Bramo is a grand derby at Medina AstroTurf. So you don't need to miss the Maribou Festival Accra 2024. And you could qualify any Ghana for Nina Nesha Safai. It's a Brajumedi and say, no any better pa. Yanda ya homra ya ba ye boy tonton sansan bidiane Kwame Minkah dwumadi ye DwaboAse High Power FM and a TV XYZ menko baby ya besie.
wote konkoya na kyerɛ sɛ asɛm aba na sɛ wote konkoya na kyerɛ sɛ asɛm aba na sɛ wote konkoya na kyerɛ sɛ
asɛm deɛ bi aba na saa asɛm no aba na noa ne yɛbɛgyina so ɛde ato aba afe yi a yɛkɔ akɔto aba 2024 mese nkɔmmɔ bi a ɛkɔ so wɔ man mu nyinaa ɛkɔ wie akyie ɛkɔ wie sɛ ɛhefa ne yɛbɛto yɛ aba no akɔ because deɛ ɔbɛdi man yɛ anim ɛfiri 2025 wokɔ ɛna bɛkyerɛ baabi a ɛwɔ so ɔman Ghana akɔ ɛna deɛ ɔbɛdi nkonim abatoɔ wei ɛna bɛkyerɛ sɛ Ghanafoɔ yɛyɛ serious sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛman no to mpɔn no deɛ ɔbɛdi nkonim between President Mahama ɛna Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia deɛ Ghanafoɔ bɛtwu so no ɛna bɛkyerɛ sɛ Ghana yɛni abere sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛman no ɛtu mpɔn mɛba deɛ nti a meka saa ansa na no ma memfa nkɔ Amafi Central na naano yɛ na court akɔneaba die ɛne ne ho nkorɔ no ba na bɛyɛ akwansidie ɛde ama the parliamentary candidate ɛde ma NDC amanyɔkuo ɛyɛ maame Jonathan Kujo ɛna yɛ aka sɛ court aboa ma abrewa ayi poma afiri kwan mu ama sɛ sɛ deɛ abatoɔ commission na ade aba ne din abɛda abatoɔ krataa no so amanfoɔ bɛgyina so ɛde ato aba wɔ abera yɛkɔ abatoɔ bere mu on the 7th of December 2024 yɛka sɛ ɔhoma yi so yɛne ne bɛdi nkɔmmɔ ɛde afa saa deɛ yɛ abayi ne sɛdeɛ n'ahoboa esiteɛ sɛdeɛ Memphis Central esiteɛ saa bere yɛ yɛkɔ akɔto aba maame Honorable Jonathan Kujo ɛmo akye mo akɔ aba
yɛnia o
na biribi abɔkɔɔ deɛ
o nyankopɔn adom bɔkɔɔ saa wɔ yɛatamfo na ɛblɛ
yɛbɛba atamfo no nsɛm no soɔ na ɛyɛ court yi n'ano akɔneabadie yi ne asɛm a tabiri kɔ court na wabera no wɔnyina ɛkɔ soɔ ɛwɔ sɛ woyɛ campaign ne ne ho nkɔnoma sɛ abrewa yi poma afiri kwan mu sɛn na ɛsi pem wɔ
deɛ nyankopɔn adom in fact ɛne gye sɛm na ɛwɔ Memphis Central nka bom ne ɔdɔ ne kuro yɛ aba obiara se nyankopɔn akasa nti in fact ɛne gye ɛwɔ Memphis Central papa
amanfoɔ sɛ nkonyaa bi na ayiyɛ amanfoɔ sɛ gyamatumi bi ɛna ɛbɛta w'akyi a ɛma saa deɛ yi ba fi sɛ na ebi mu abua wofɔ koraa sɛ enya mmamu sɛ wobɛtumi agyina de ama NDC no wabra yɛkɔ abato yi mu ɛdeɛ na ɛyɛ adwuma ma ho
sɛ wonim sɛ Joanna deɛ from day one a nyame maa ne nsa sɛ ɔma abrabɔ mu ɛtua ka sɛ akwansifoɔ a na ɔmo sosom no ɛdɔɔso bata ɔn sɛ nyankopɔn yɛ nyame bi a ayɛ a ɔdwene ne ho a ɔnsi ase sɛ yɛdi ka ne hu ne sɛ magic ne nyinaa yɛ nyankopɔn ɛna ma biribia ɛyɛ pɛpɛpɛ yɛto ase bia mu ɛyɛ Papa John Dramani Mahama ɛyɛ yɛ incoming president in fact ɔde ne nan asi fam na ɔsɛ ɔma obi a ɛnyɛ bɔne ɛte sɛ ɛsan seat no ɛnyɛ gift ɛyɛ NDC bia na ɔma kwan mu obi anyɛ saa ɛyɛ yɛ papa ɛsɛdu kɛseɛ yɛ national chairman so in fact wabɔ adwuma papa na ɔpa ɛbi anyimmerɛ na ɔba Memphis Central na ɔfrɛ me na ɔtumi fo na ɔhyɛ me nkwan sɛ biribiara ɛbɛyɛ yi ɛyɛ yɛ papa yɛ general secretary so yɛ golden fifi fifi sabi kɔti but yɛ general secretary so wa yɛ adwuma nkasa nti wohwɛ yɛ mpanyimfoɔ ne national executive ne regional executive ne constituency executive ne abusuafoɔ a ɔmo dɔ NDC ɔmo de wa no ɔmo ayɛ ɔmo adwene sɛ ɔmo ma obi akwan anyɛ aburo wei na yɛ legal team so ɔmo yɛ adwuma papa san sɛ beginning na yɛkɔ ne nyinaa na yɛne legal team na ɛkɔ but ɛduru baabi no yɛbɛhu sɛ yɛnya more helping hands nti ma yɛde new lawyers ɛba bɛka ho ɛyɛ lawyer Tedious ne ɛyɛ lawyer Israel mo bɛka ho ma biribiara ɛyɛ fɛfɛɛfɛ ma sisi ame na ɔka sɛ Monday na afa yɛyie court asɛm Omuba Parliament, they Parliament, no more for back to Takrade. Make sure say, Omako file lawyer, Israel file BBS or being a court order. Now, what you need at the ability is about or making sure say, Okoye, almost Yama light of one, more and Tiani. The other change, I mean, Koy and then Romacasi, Yambla 9 o'clock. And lawyer Israel. Lawyer Church, almost aqua GDB, court order almost canny edema, NDC for your team, only adding and take new lawyers, and also I not papa because Omobayana and Flamani Vidia. Do my bono, or much let Ghana for near experience, many more net over and Saman Casa, main case. Na your previous lawyer you know me no omo tackle that no and no so na ma ya den jantin so na the advice said to me by the no new lawyers no make sure say they went to the root of the assembly fight say when I omo this guy that's me na no mo attending and flow. Main case no English no then you omuni people for that some no is base. I didn't know my omo mo me koko te no mo ya campaign manager emma adanko for na ye then adanko for no omo to me de me koko to ye koto aba no mo kan obi omo have nothing to in fact the argument of argument ye nyina ye discuss it and mo ne ada lawyers ni na akabo manager ye be in fact yeah, lawyers me legal things na no be a cabo we do my den and yam paying for omoka on them BBI okay. Yeah, that a new lawyer and you'll be Obeka from day one. Yeah, that will be us.
Matehona say, me and Fabo Babako enkum and no mababro dia oho. A year dia course war court ya konya bedie ne hon chronobano. Affect you emotionally and I feel so eba campaign na nkasa nso a na nka wose akɔso wɔ Amenfi Central no enya nsunsuanso bi wɔ so.
I think the delay no na in fact many and but ning na mo say yes am fast da manyam. My hone say sa asem we nso ama ya hu nta nkasa su no mo ban a omo de ti ye NDC. Ye nipa ba akumi no bi wɔ hɔ no ma omo yes omo do party. But behind the scene, no one can and crop for Mama Bonnie way. Yameya, I have many say, of why you believe in them, say, wait, yes, they are so good and so perfect. Say, Omuntu will be to head the party. Now, Ubi Femuno. One, so I know Papa, a do a two kind or do I don't. I took a almost so Muka no Moka. There be what the party in down for. Now, actually, information I in and then to me, say, Omo ko other side the Kura no Pakwan Pam because oh, Yanni is one of my that's the affect me your wound, you know. Won't fire one in ten, I won't be a crying and man on me. I say, I'm going to say, yes, yeah, because and again, you more joining Papa, now won't buy a ticket within the Diabla. As you say, ain't you know, yes, it can some way to say, and my Yahoo, Yama. Yabamu Yama, and Nipa, and William, and no Messi, and not a year at it, but in all. On say, men I intention to me, so now I'm in Central for executive day, young fine junction to be so. It's my talk cast my or more, and make teacher to me any campaign items via Omuna, make a Gabriel for us to do the campaign. You were doing campaign every day and night, and also me Papa John Jaman Mahama. And your papa didn't get and your papa difficult and so based on that it is almost so yeah me campaign chairperson, presidential campaign chairperson for your papa John Draman Mahama. And no legally and mamma crime and media campaign right from the one starting a lot of strategies between me campaign and so background. So yeah 98% and a normal view.
Hey, at the end of this a year confidence never because when say now what we move say be na na searchna national chairman Johnson at Sedun Ketia beba on peswa so and I face ade ba ko so asi ni say what the course of court no obi bedrin say send your campaign a delay o e dey na ma sa GDA say 98% na benya.
And the tenant number 1 and how you NDC as our yes sir. Since then to NDC na win. Number 2 a papa a Dr. Frank Abu or no your first MP Parliament Central. On any time no 92 no na in fact NDC ya akono papa. Eti akro pe obia pe NDC asem na oba na in Central South. Na yaka they say yaka NDC power banter. Na Central yeden account. But after Dr. Abuna honorable to Yaka ebai. On also buy any before Eduma because Dr. Abu or no young continuous papa no use we or no one or step it down to what why you can not be obligation and to on one or so honorable to Kofiata and now ordinary year then about on also by year MP for 12 years and now on free on na kaka so ebai on also ebai and you share who follow your man. Only time I want to know your man, I can't time, and not in Uncle Pony changing the past, someone but not move to money. Because someone who say, I black old you or one in your media oil. Someone thinking I am was so they needed a good personality with a good brand position as a influence in Gibiano. I won't have any more, and I used to know so near to make a revive the NDC that he used to be before. And that's what I was doing to make sure yes. Emma Nkobi wa omu nsuwa na mitutu nsuo mesha tie Nkobi wa no mu school dan ya say ya makobo omu no maye mesha Nkobi school dan ni wa omu ni nkonya na makwa akobo omu say last week say ya bo hu nkwa more than 32 okay last month October you cry me wo problem ye kokko ye health screening ye bo anko for more than 10,000 in America Central. Ebimu ya mewa, ebimu ya nkokula, ebimu ya say. Oshia scholarships, maybe a man for almost on the idea. The almost change ya dumana. 4 years from now, and 8 years from now, the Beba be a master, the Beba Nejuma will be a Russian head of Juma. The way you every woman answer where Bushia. Until you want to transform life, make an impact in the life of people. And individually, no community, no. Obia enya nkonkobu a bia no muhia we deketu abi ma ho odin ma ye nkobu na ka tumi mfaso matumi ayi kwan atu ma le ka tumi ye eko ning na nso ye mia isika de nya aban isika enti say ya na say NDC na ya man NDC di mu na ye so you have to make NDC proud and everybody even MP before crisis all NDC t-shirt wow okwa no mo na wo Obiano ko gidi madam wa mani then ye campaign ma then na ye kan ho no so we ye fi ma ye de yam no na some court at democracy and obi we fi no so ye MP no say Joanabo ni say papa ni fi no and then mo because they say 7 December no on PP candidates no kwa betu aba e dia ma Joan Ejam Kujo and nothing I just to sure say you winning hands down.
Very well. Ye branding tea, ye fantini ha, and Kayano, Wabra ye kwa any when you're banning in our so na yetimi at one common. So, Memo more and a face of my trinqua. Ye bedi wakoni abano and they will campaign at you a Memphis Central. So, ye that's it. Honorable Joanna Jan Kujo and attaining Cano, parliamentary candidate Emma NDC Amano Kono, our Memphis Central. What yam komoya minini diena? Esubi wo NDC fori nyina mu esubai ede ne yenye na yemfamwa yemanfo sasu no wo mu nyina mu every president so ekosi most of the parliamentary candidates no okola jokuku a ayi benayiku one time nsentwefo nhia mu enta nkotena radio so emfrefre dom preference ntwefo se mayewe ba beko eye la jokuku no na dwuma na ekasa ma no adwuma ni bi ne dia ayaresabia eno ma obeye no wayi amanfo afiri hiamu ohwa president John Dramani Mahama ne nsa no nwuma a wogya to ho no ene no na Ghana ye de ho atoso o ebi ni akwan akase ya ene MPP ede to ne ho asafo hini te se Jacob Bechabi interchange Pokwasi interchange Sprinters flower pot no yakosi honyini bi wo ha honyini no kura kasa edi ananse ese eye mahama adwuma na Ghana fo nsan kofa okwa honyini ni si wo enye nanado honyini san kofa statue ene edi esi wo eti honyini no edi adanse akasa kire Ghana fo se mahama nsan no adwuma ni onti Ghana fo mo san kofa benade ne efami and the human rights lawyer and the economic wizkid and then yesikasem aginsemu and the city to dollar age 17 cities mahama penso ni ene na 4 cities Sprinters flower pot mahama nsan wadwani nie and then am the chao me my evidence 2015 said ye na tebia ne city and this year 2024 o mawie ukọ edan nase a na honyini no esi kwan nase a honyini ni so we 2015 video any ade chemo screen so no as of 2015 one and president of the Republic of Ghana President John Mahama etienne MPP ntimi nyina baabi enka se Sprinters flower pot ensanu nyuma fefefe we nanado dia no wo pe hu sika to ho ho plan na da ho eti nanado beto ye no ato aso eti ye baba nanado mu a ye ma na mo se wato aso wadi ase anka nanado to anyuma ahodo a Joma ama jade to ho within the less than 4 years here oba ban mu anka Ghana kona ni by now hisuku sa ahodo egu nwuram hwa yare sabia ahodo nano na Ashanti regional minister wo su sese wia any aferi hospital da ben na ye de akade beba na ye wie adwuma no because adwuma no akaka krea bi na ye wie na Ashanti regional minister su Ashanti regional minister na no wo su wo paka wo si nanim se wo hunu adwuma ye MPP aban ba ye o metima no wontimi mu bobia na ato de ni esu ni benabo no wono na sem na me kai se wia any aferi ayare sabia na Joma amasi ye no akaka krea bi na ye wie for the past 8 years ni ye jesi wuram na akadia kakra aka e wo se ye de soso ni ewie no ato aban wei ene benabo ne nto ato but you see the aban wei ni me ya ne kasa the aban wei enim ya ne bose so obehye bo a wonni so kai se nanado ne baomia omo hye ye bo ebebo ho dwa e kasa ho me kasa for cedi ni dollar no wo hye bo se Mahama cedi to dollar na ejina 4 cedis no obeba abedi wo dwuma mena ba fam ene ya kasa ejina 17 cedis look eye baomia wo bedan na di bra na one Ghana for kasa se watimi ache dollar no e de ato afiase e de key na ma IGP ene dollar na break jail ama wakodi di outside ye kese aye tintin gramo abegina 17 cities sabra na baumie kase wache dollar no ato afiase sabra na no kasa no na dollar na slightly above 4 cities ni en na 5 cities na no sabra no ana baumie kasa asem no and you see enkofo yo mudi enimi domuni ma ne kasa ene boshe hunu ene ya hye bo akasa amasese Nyankopon kra ye hye ne bo ye ndi ne bo hye so ye hye na Nyankopon bo se ye besi asodan e de ahye ne din na nimonyam fi se wono na bo aye e ma adudi adogagai e be ye president ene boy ye ni so amasese nyame na wo se ye si aya eye asodan ma no e se adani statue si fa statue ni kiro mo ye ja nyame asori no esi nchen ana yakosi yankasa ye hunyini sa manfo atwam wo afia nkwanta wo mo hwe honyini no mo nsom honyini no fi se nanado ayade afia nkwanta kwan ya ye nyanwie ye afia nkwanta ayade sabia ye nyanwie ye ene asori a ye ka se ye besi dia se onyankopon ani wonyam no ye ja to ho eni atam man Ghana $58 million eni egu amina donko mu eni ama nsu abagum ena epai entuntum na sade yade ebre ye jawe atuo ena yekosi yankasa ye honyini sa manfo atwam afia nkwanta wo mu hu honyini na te sade ye no Nebukadnezar penso no ye nyina ho ne mu nkotodwane mu ye mu ase na ye nsum honyini no na nkadeɛ na menka sɛ nyɛ saa na ti a ɛdi ebio wabra yɛsi wɔ nyini no so na baabi a bɛfa bia wɔ Ghana fana yɛgyagya yɛ ho yɛwura fi sɛ tumi bi ɛhyɛ yɛn nsam sɛ president ɛne vice president eti yɛgyagya yɛ ho ama kwan ama galamsey abɛgye ɔman no abɔ so baabi a bɛfa bia wɔ ɔman Ghana yɛnsua ahono yɛnsaase asɛe yɛkwa yɛ asɛe na nane ba ɔmo yɛgyagya ɔmo ho ɛgyagya nneɛma mu ama ɔmo ankasa ho nkɔɔfoɔ ɛna ateɛ si mo di animu ɛna yɛde galamsey ekum Ghanafoɔ na Ghanafoɔ metwum adwene si biribi so ɛne nkɔɔfoɔ yɛ a yɛka ɔmo ho asɛm yi ansa na ɔmo ba abɛn mu no ɔmo tɔn ɔmo ho kyerɛ yɛ o ɔmo tɔn ɔmo ho kyerɛ yɛ sɛ ewiase nyansa nyinaa kyerɛ ɔmo tirim ɔmo tɔn ɔmo ho kyerɛ yɛ sɛ ɛba enipa yɛfa ahodie temamufoɔ yɛfa ahodie yɛ right yɛ responsibilities a ɛyɛ ɔmo ahi adeɛ eti na Nana Addo kura deɛ yɛ bɔ ne samina ne sɛ wɔyɛ human rights lawyer ɛnɛ under human rights lawyer ɛnɛ wɔgyina bɔni akɛseɛ wɔ wiase afa na nyinaa sɛ sustainable development goals ɛna afei so climate change adwuma yi ɔno a na ɛbɛdi abibifo anim ami ayɛ yi wɔkɔgye ho sika ne ɛho pɛdeɛ mwie na wɔkɔ kasakasa wɔ mu dwumadie no ase no ɔgye nsɛmbɔ ne wie a wɔba ɔno ankasa ne Ghana na mmara na wɔsɛ yɛ adwuma na bɔ nsase ne kwayɛ ɛne nsuo ho ban no na wɔgya ato hɔ ama sɛsɛi atoyɛ ne ɔsɛyɛ yɛnsuo nsɛe yɛkwayɛ gyina kɔ ɛnam saa nti kookoo dodo a wɔse yɛte no yɛntimi nte maama pɛ nso ɛberɛ no wɔte 900 metric tons no amanfoɔ kaa sɛ saa 900 metric tons no ɛsua na ɔmo ba ɔmo bɛbɔ ɔmo ne nhyehyɛ papa bɛba ama yɛate deɛ kyɛn saa ɛnɛ yɛte kookoo less than 400 metric tons kookoo yi so ne yɛgyina so ɛma broni kɔkɔɔ esika ba man mu ha so you see the kind of people we have it is a ne yɛgyagya yɛ ho ama ɔma saa bɛdi yɛ anim a na mebisa nkɔfoɔ yɛ ɔmadi yɛ bɔne sei wɔn mu ne yɛba abɛgyagya yɛ ho ama ɔma saa di yɛ anim bio anaa ɛberɛ na Nana Addo wɔhyɛ n'amanyɔsɛm aseɛ ɛne ɛnɔ Rollins wɔne ne de sie ni saa adɛyɛ a Rollins de VAT aba na VAT na wɔde aba no ɛde ɔhaw ne amanneɛ ɛbɛbrɛ Ghanafoɔ ɛne ekumi prako hyɛ me prako sie me prako yɛkyerɛ bɛn na Nana Addo anyɛ si wɔdi animu na Ghana mpanimfoɔ di animu na Ghanafoɔ nyinaa asɔ n'asene na yɛdi n'akyi yɛgyina yɛkyerɛ nso baabi mu ahwehwɛ wɔn nkwa ɛna yɛkasa yi Nana Addo yɛ mampanyin wɔne ne ba omie yi a wɔtɔn no kyerɛ yɛ sɛ wɔno na ɛba abɛboa ma ɔman Ghana sikasɛm agyina yie ɛnɛ under ɔmo leadership yɛgyina VAT yi so ɛde to ahodoɔ abɛtoto Ghanafoɔ so including yadeɛ kɔdeɛ wɔ coronavirus ɛtoɔ COVID toɔ ɛnɛ under Nana Addo hwɛ to ahodoɔ a amanfoɔ tua ansa na ɔmatumi aclear ɔmo goods ɛwɔ ports etu otua toɔ bebrebe wɔ yi a wɔde nneɛma no bɛgu so tɔ a wɔde sika no bi bɛka ho fi sɛ wɔhia ne mfa soɔ ɛnso wɔde sika no bi ka ho mpo a amanfoɔ mbɛtɔ fi sɛ ɔman nii no temamuni no wɔne sika a wɔde bɛtɔ ɔma bi ɔmo de ato eti Nana Addo ne Rollins ɛpem so sɛ VAT ku yɛn ɛna a wabɛnya mampanyin di bere yi a wɔadie yi wɔne na bɛdi akyire ba omia wɔma gyina VAT yi so ne to ahodoɔ ɛde sɛe ɔman Ghana ɛtoɔ no nso nyɛ sɛ ɔmo gye a wɔmo de yɛ biribi soronko biara o wɔmo gye ɔmo mfa nyɛ hwee because over the past 7 to 8 years yɛbisa yɛtoɔ bebrebe a mo gye yɛ in the name of COVID ne ne ho nkranoma no ɛde ade na mo de abɛyɛ Nana Addo tena ha yɛ ahwɛhan ɛma saa dwumakuo yi a na ɛwɔ airport yi dwumakuo yi a ɛwɔ airport yi a sɛ bi a wɔba COVID sika yi wɔmo gyegyegyegye no wɔtena wɔyɛ ahwɛhan ma ɔma bagye yɛ sika kɔ baomia tena ase ɛyɛ ahwɛhan ɛma PDS ɛbagye yɛ sika kɔyɛ ɛnɛ baomia ɛde mita bi ama yɛn a saa mita no wode bɔ wo fie dan anaasɛ wode bɔ wo dan ho ano a wosɔ kanea hrrr na wo sika nyina kɔ wo sika no so wobisa sɛ ɛhefa na ɛkɔ a baomia bɔtɔm na ɛkɔ eti yɛbɛtena hɔ ama saa nkɔɔfoɔ wɔ mu asa abɛdi yɛ so bio question ye bisa ye betena ho amo masa kum ye bio ye betra amoma sa say ye bio ye betra ma sa de to ahodo atoto ye so asay man no ye betra amoma broka e de ato man Ghana so ene Ghana aboka bebrebe wontimi ntwa ne ka enye se Ghana wo sika bi wo baabi ena wo kire no se wontwa ne ntwa tena wo Ghana ni sika eti ade so no ye pia e de akoto aban na wonam kwa so a wo ba no eti mahama e ba no wono wa prepare say e was on China for ene amama ahodo a ye de wo mu ka no e wo so oni wo mu dia no enye sa wo wura aban mu a the first headache ebe ye sa ka na ye de China for no ye nim nkoma a woni China for no kwodi ye enkomo ni mu details so mo fa mra ye be so mo so mo ni China for aka am ye to ye kana seda o mo ni Paris club for aka am ye to ye kana seda enkomo ben no mu ni o mu di ye nim eje ye nya ba foforo ma ne ba aban mu e ma ne gira ye mamra no so ebise biso mo ansan ye huru so science se omo na ye mo ekoso tena ho a amane mu ne yebekọ na me to aso no ma me fa hura say ahia pa ene entia me born na do din e ka say we ye human rights lawyer no aha no na wo se be fam me so for video no to so abetifi asemi ba ye me nche dan ka bi be na de me kapa ba bi ahia me eye saa de ya wo hwe e wo video isue saa de ya wo hwe e wo TV isue oba hima oba panyi o oba hima ene na data e da bonten bone be no aye se bran na champon wunu enti ene yemo oba hima deja e wo abonten ene yema oba hima adecha emeda abonten bran na champon wunu enti ene oba hima adeja emeda abonten nanado we a human rights lawyer nanado wo beautiful Rebecca your ba nanado danko akufuado wo manum nyina ye ma etiene ema ni monyam ene ade twitwi fom sei se wo hwe TV na adagya no de yentimi fa nkyerɛw video na asefem me ye sure se bumu bi enya video na hwe yentimi enyi oba na adagya no nkyerɛmo but in this video no wo wonu sa betifi hima no ene ya bɔ na adagya ye de ne nam krom ho ena post ni edi animu ena dom di akire ena mrantie ni bi ekuakura sekan ema a ye de ema no ebrim obayi ena ye twi ne say frodom ede ne nam krom ho 21st century Ghana enye say bia 13th century and 14th century no 21st century ena ni bia bayi ena ba umia nam a wo say abafu bre ni nie no abafu bre mu ne ye we yo Baumia wo yire Samira your ba. Baumia wo maame your ba. Baumia e ma twa ho ahia ma ka ho bi e na wo ye adwuma wo baabi a wo ye adwuma no vice president office no e ma wo hobi. Nanado e ma your ministers. And I'm even surprised say Ghana ma kane no se ye oba bi ayaka de mu nyina makama no atum. Kane no se ye oba bi ayaka de a eya na mutai kasa bebrebe no ena mu nyina makama no atum ene ye de sa ayaka de wei edi mami mampani wei ye de oba hima wei menya ye be hold just 1 minute silence for sadie wei ya ye de ayo oba yi 1 minute silence Ghana ni yo ye man ni
Power the fam.
ye man ya ye bomb by say baba be kra be hwe ye man ya mira bi twam no ye say a gateway to Africa ene ade ne ye ene ade ne ye ade ne de kra mansan oba himo ena na deja da bonten oba hima such gross disrespect for womanhood under a so-called human rights lawyer. Baumiana, chairman of the police council.
Power the fam.
Mayekom. Just 1 minute. Let's appreciate the video. hwɛ video ni din hwɛ video ni din yɛfa dollar ne nto nkyɛn yɛfa cedi ne nto nkyɛn yɛfa bibia nto nkyɛn no fa o party sam ɛto nkyɛn na hwɛ video wei sɛ Ghana ni watch this video as a Ghanaian hwɛ video no sɛ Ghana ni ne bisa ho sɛ eti pani wɔ man mu ha. Do we have a leader in this country? Do we have leaders in this country? Does she deserve this treatment? See a baby na deja beda bonting. Bonne ben why? Say Nadia na deja eda bonting obi ambe hebi. And then na deja no and yet a betifo one a man for who you at the social media, the video show, at the TV show be a rep. And a human rights lawyer. And a human rights lawyer. Nipa 8 extra monkwa. Wabra near tuaba. And a human rights lawyer. And then went to be near yetre. We yetre now for Casembia. Was a showachi. And now Pasa Okasa. What Kasa now showachi. Because Usro said, Wanuko Pape, Obi Baba Swau. Mo amo sorry amo say Mahama any nanado eyepe and Mahama na man for to become again to the sense na a man for to be to the TV so did Mahama attempt what is a Mahama but you be what is a people says here but the so-called human rights lawyer she no me SCA she said ye AC treaty abetifi him Ghana for AFA. This is so disgusting. A chiwadia kasiye. Where a chiwadia? A chiwadia kasiye pa. Why I no me na wo Fredia mama no me. Was ye nyinadi and say we yeti. Na ye bomb by any intercede more my Ghana. No me na wo Fredia mama no. Eti we nyina etie and I say chinchina. Wo kwa kwahye ba omiachi se ye nto amoso se mo be dai na mo beto no ma we so we nyina na wo gira ba omiachi se chinchina amanfo nto ma ba omia na ye beto amoso na mo be dai na mo beto asa de tanta we na mo beto nkoso efa no me mra oman no. This is sad. Imam ye wie show no me nyame nto show no so bio Power the fam. Come on, any. Madame Bako or Brimpo. But Wabra will show video way. For a normal 1 or 2 screens on your review. For normal 1 or 2 screens on your review. Spray boy, milk boy, Pepsodent boy, it's way and a dozen. Mahama pencil spray, peak milk. Now 7 cedis. And under Baumia, 38 cedis. Toothpaste, Pepsodent, 3 cedis, 50 pesos. And then 20 cedis. Dollar no. Economic wasted. And San Wedgmanie. It is a Samira Baumia Bazongo. Now we'll soon. Mumusan say. 20 cedis who know and I was who an answer day because under Mahama no na ye 3 cedis 50 pesos. Se Samira Baumia Bazongo na was who a mumusano because everybody buy a moye campaign wajina simpia so say and then Mahama ni signboard and ashita Ghana nyina na se Mahama pesi ehunu na ene ye ehunu pa and then Oko Ghana fana nyina mo signboard ebobo baabia Baumia signboard run about to be abakoso bia wo Accra ha ene Kumase ene nkura kese ahodo a ewo mamu ha obekọ na Baumia signboard akese esisi ho 20 cedis ana mo pesa ye hunu na Wellington Buta na ye 25 cedis and Mahama ene 150 cedis and on signboard bebrebe ene na mo pesa ye hunu Wellington Boot 20 cc, Mahama pencil, 25 cedis, and then 150 cedis. Look at the quantum leap. He said, yes, we are tire yɛde gu yɛ car se 2016 na ne nam 90 cities na ɔkɔ akyi ma me hwɛ car tire no bio 2016 na ne nam 90 cities ɛnɛ ɛyɛ 300 cities ɛnɛ ɛyɛ 300 Ghana cities mame the next one me baby no saa Gino yi Mahama penso 4 cities ɛnɛ hwɛ yɛde 20 cities ɛna abɛka ho 24 Ghana cities from 2016 to 2024 ɛdeɛ na si wɔ Ghana ha ama nneɛma boa kɔ soro saa under economic whiskey
Power FM.
under economic whiskey though wabra Mahama ɛho kani former first lady ɛnam a wɔsi ayaresabea na wɔdwen na wɔ ne kasa nyina nkɔyɛ sɛ eni wo kwan sɛ bibi bɛyɛ akwansidie ɛma amanfoɔ ɛma ɔmo nya ayarehwɛ ɛwɔ ayaresabea no na ba omia so yere ne nam ɛne wɔsu ada ne wɔsu a wɔse yɛ ntoma ne kunu ada ne yɛ ntoma ne kunu a wɔnim Rodina Mahama Foundation ɛnsa no adwumanie
Power FM.
Samira wo foundation ne deɛ no watuma yɛ ɛdeɛ nkura na wo kuru mpo aya wobɛtumi di ho adanse a ɛbɛkyerɛ deɛ nti a na wusu Rodina Madam Rodina Mahama Her Excellency former first lady the foundation ayaresabea so Rodina Mahama is adding on to my Ghana and now I was here true said about sustainable development goals no you better achieve that is what Rodina Mahama is doing and then as Samira from opposition to abemu e kasa nkoa ebusu abamenyina we so na mentoma menua eye obrempon na asa ne yebekɔ no ye de kwasi ndum Dr. Indum asɛm bi beto manim na afei ye de tonton sansan no ato obasa be obrempon ai krado wode ye e fa magic one so na ye di nkomo bi obrempon yankwa
Kwame aka na aduonum yensa 23 days pepepe na oman Ghana ekwakoto aba on the 7th of December na afei yahwe ayi omampani foforo betimi ahyehye na oman Ghana etimi afa ne ntama pa bi efre no nti ana TVS YZ any power 97.9 ye bo modern say ye de eye oman Ghana ne ba bibiara obi agebre no tie ana ohwe yen e de be fa bibiara e ba be see fi sabre e kopem eye 7th of December oman Ghana e be to aba na fe ye timi ahu bibiara e wom kwame ne wo magic war no so ye ba be hwe enu ada ni ye kasafa eye Christians ye kasafa Islam ye kasafa traditional said the omo to omaba the year 2020 and it said the Oma yo magene so mo beto omaba a year 2024 and ye share the Christian denominations ti ye ba be share Presby ye be share Pentecost ye be share Roman Catholic ye ba be share charismatic churches no said the Omo to omaba in the year 2020 na fe ya share 2024 said the Oma yo magene so mo beto omaba kwame ti ye to akoso ye hyase a free Roman Catholic in the year 2020 Roman Catholic almost to a percentage is essentially na danko kufa do nya fi omho 54% na fe essentially John Dramani Mahama enya 45%. Kwame ye share 2024 said the Roman Catholic omayo magene so mo beto abana essentially John Dramani Mahama 55%, Alaji Baumia 39%, Alan Judiciary Martin 1%, Nana Kwambedi akon 5%, other political parties no 0%. 2024 said yes Roman Catholic person omotomaba Kwame yenhwe Methodist in the year 2020 Methodist are sorry no omo man na danko akufo 60%, Excellency John Dramani Mahama enya 39%, other political parties 1%. Ye ko 2024 Excellency John Dramani Mahama enya 48%. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia 48%, and so afi Alan Kojo Martin 1%, Nana Kwambedi akoya 3%, other political parties 0%. Na says o hwe Methodist Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene Alhaji Mahmoud Bamia nyina ejina tipenkro afi ye hwe Pentecost sorry now in the year 2020 His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo enya 59%, John Dramani Mahama enya 40%. na afei 2024 said ye Pentecost sorry woma ye omagene so mo beto omaba no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama 49%, Alhaji Bawumia 45%, Alan Kojo Martin 1%, Nana Kwame Bediako 4%, na afei other political parties 1%. Afei mo Kwame yenhwe Presbyterians in the year 2020 saying omoto omaba e the fire 2020 Presbyterians to about 63%, Emma and Adan Kwekufado. So Excellency John Dramani Mahama 36%. Now we do 2024 more. Said the Presbyterians one my young margin so Mobeto Omaba. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama 46%, Alhaji Bawumia 48%, Alan Kojo Martin 1%, Nana Kwame Bediako 5%. Other political parties 0%, 2024 abato ye kwakoti. Yenhwe charismatic check eno na etwa to ewo nsori mu ne. Charismatic check in the year 2020, Kwame. Omuma na Nana Kwekufado 56%, John Dramani Mahama 43%. In the year 2024, said the charismatic churches no woma ye omagene so mo beto omabani. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama 54%, Alhaji Bawumia 41%, Alan Kojo Martin 2%, Afi Nana Kwame Bediako 3%, other political parties 0% in the year 2024. Abatwa ye kwakoto Kwame yenhwe ensesanye abemu se wo de 2020 abatwa no ekoso no etoto adwenkyere anase de charismatic churches anase Methodist ne Pentecost one person among two amaba 2024 yeah yenhwe ensesanye aba no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama were increasing the vote Roman Catholic by 10%. Now, Methodist so we're increasing by 9%. So, over the Presbyterian we're increasing by 9%. Pentecost we're increasing 10%. Afi charismatic churches and also yes, and also 10%. So, what the 2020 abatwa unyai edi free Christians any other religious bodies in one. Ni yenhwe Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia wono nso no wabomode walusu 15% among Catholics. Afi walusu 15% bi onso ewo Methodist. Walusu 13% to Presby. Walusu 15% to Pentecost. And afi walusu 15% to charismatic churches. Me say what the toto His Excellency Nana Dodan Kwekufado vote unyai the year 2020 na fe 2024 sorry abatu omo beto e de ama Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia de a na je se ni vote Akufado vote unyai nyina no eso ate ye pa e de ama Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia nti Kwame de ekoso ewo sorry mu se de omo to omo ba the year 2020 and said the omo magene so omo beto omo ba 2024 and ye bo modern de bedo matie for any ahwefo nyina ewo DwaboAse tonton sansan dwumadi so anopai
and then the very simple so we Christiani so ye Muslimini so ye Shintoist so ye Buddhist so the asori grad ye wunkobi hwe wasete dem hwe tebia ye womi and answer just one question. Would you say nkofo ye omo wa ban mi ehu hia si ye beto omo so just answer that question. She said you wusi bre wa bra wo to no ma de ama wo ma konto aso suku hwakura ya wadi 13 years wo be ya wadi 13 years a wonya day school ya de ne ko chichi and na wo kwa han dan ama no apart from dan han ni sika no akura de bambo ne no ma wo se ye de bo no ho ban no o sa ba ye wadwendwen amamoi na akofa wo ya ba o eti question mi busa won se wogidi se Bawumia ye to no so eyeye Bawumia kura ya na ama ye sika sema ye say yo and ama $4 to $1 and 17 cedis 17 ne for epe we busa epe eti we nyina akoso ene nyuma ahodo asese se de si tata ankofo agi wo nyuma firi wo nsem no eno na Dr. Papa Kosindum e kan wasem me de na sem no e jaw wabra ye di tonton sansan no to tie wie na wote santo ka na de meko tie no.
Know how you've seen it, but this is how I have seen it. And that, so if we are going to collapse Papa Kwesi Indom's bank, and we know we don't have a legitimate reason, then we create one. That he collected some $60 million and illegally transfer them to the United States. Or they did this, they did this, they did that, without digging into, the facts of the matter. So that the people out there can say, hey, so all this time, this is what the man had been doing. Oh, okay. Then if his bank is collapsed, then he deserves it. So, as some people say, you give something a bad name so you can hang it. It's not anything new. So that's the point that I'm making. And so in an unprecedented move, the bar for banks was set so high, so that local investors, to make it impossible for local people in the industry to raise that sort of money. The 400 million Ghana cedis never happened before. No, unprecedented. To move it straight from 120 million, whatever, to 400 million, knowing that people would find it difficult. And who would the people who would find it difficult? The indigenous people, that they will find it difficult. And for some people who nothing could be found against, well, they said they were not fit for purpose. And for some of us who they knew had money with government agencies, they just said, as for we at Bank of Ghana, we don't know anything about what is owed by anybody. All we know is the situation as it is on the ground. And for some of the politicians, they said, no, all that we are concerned about is there's agitation. People are agitating for their monies, and they can't pay them what some judge said, paltry sums of money to.
Na assembly wo biamu oka na mama ne ye kunsum yemfa mumai motrobodo yemfa mumai mosempa.
Sport FM.
Mera hopa ma my Ghana. No, I feel very sad for this country. I don't know if you see what I see or if you're hearing what I'm hearing. But see, I nye bibi amfa tebia ya ye womi sabre ya on. On mine best kwaswa say. It is not a case. Kanepa batwa komisa eye adverta. Ekwe obedi badanse ye. Christian Osu Parine friends penny apensui Afarijan Oma Penso Omo ya adverta those days. What was the entity any edema and church any edema and then about to come to me advert. Now we're advert so a campoa. Hey, one edit draw. So can't people raise concerns anymore? Yet to be raising concerns bio and the concerns are man for raising. One way Gina wouldn't nimuswo. Conclude say would it draw. Can you imagine? After a jam time, you did not advert so near Chenk of war. Said you about one best young cop near and one sem. What happened? Get the party some all institutions. I must say, a man for GDA Combenia in various institutions. No, a quote. Seba from so any mind. Then we are going back to the jungle days. You're swinging from one tree to the other. But Kwame Minkah said 21st clinic. A sciatic expert. Swati Ekwianka. A brasso you because the bon grat anymore. You mo catch your batting now. But 21st clinic a sciatic expert. Or twas in 3 did you call Nasa one or Yana or Tiano. And one is sciatic yo from 10540311311. Ekwi mema no so die nie se we bema no ho de asa bo wura gboso herbal clinic we your banner white candidiasis edi unya bo wura gboso herbal clinic agboso nso de o machi akwan hwehwe nya den enya yira kwan okwashiman oni ahimfie no ena di animu hwe from 0241750282 and 0557402696 ne nkrabata na water no or community 25 Savannah Junction on a depth track estate no nedi animu hwe from 0557402696 agboso herbal clinic no it is show machi akwan nene also bede ho ekwa menenam eye XYZ Facebook page ye infographics ni bi na ye de atodwa no ma me mbubo bi so nkyerɛw
okay
me kinkai no bibi ye me ye sure say e bi asade kro na bi be ye. Number 1, Akufo-Addo regrets working with Ken Ofori-Atta. Why na kasa eye Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom. Number 2, Ghana Trade Fair receive a state of the art facility similar to O2 Arena. Dr. Agnes Edu our CEO Emma Trade Fair Limited. Now call your page one. Said your man for a
trade fair, dear, when you come.
Trade fair no mubu no.
And I'm saying,
yes, so many Sikapudwabia, Yaba Bessie, Dan Crackasia, to say O2 Arena, United Kingdom. No.
I Ghana ha.
In February.
The Ben on my base, you must start here and I say, fair no best start here because I'm Grammy Fast. I'll kind of so. She's you.
And you're correct. Send your man for Supano 69 comments. Nina good comments. Not because Ghana for any patriot and Nadana. Another one 8.4 million Ghanaians representing 24.5% went a day without food.
Because Sessiani woman, Miminim said, don't want 90 minutes.
Yes.
Ebi ye 101.
That's right.
Ebi su ye 001. Na sa no pani awia no didi na anwumre wa didi. Enti ebetimi aba say ebi mu didi kra e no kra.
And the last one na fe majama. Eye ye nua Ivan Chey Innocent. Abrante ya wakasa mamebunu eniche no. On the was youth activist. On the wo so na was say John Ajagum Kufuor way. And I say my was it former President J.A. Kufuor in Ghana as his party, the MPP, has mismanaged the country. Obisa.
Otiya.
What is that?
Son, I knew about Kabi. What's us all this while? If and I tell can. Na Andra, guest never fence inside
politics. Yeah.
Obi kika na adwen kyerɛ ntimi.
Nana ya janto ana.
Ade bi be ma na.
Be ma na kan.
Be ma na kan. Say anka panyi wo fie a. Nti na se panyi wo fie a eye. Nti bibi koso na ekɔkyewa na ntempa wabem. Na watimi atenetene no. Isa ne se mribu ka se emra wo unyamba ye president na hu niema differently. Nti anka wakɔ akɔtena akiri de. Suahunu no edoso bebrebe. Nti obi kɔkyewa ntempa no afrɛ minua dia wuye. Imagine say Kofo was Aquanya ya Mahama Wabia. Just imagine. Just imagine said in the Casa de Bissia. I got your Mahama Kobeka times 3. Maybe. Where is it? But say, Papa, why you call me? I'm out for me cramity. Imagine him say, what for the Kufa and about me and the year. So, yeah. Faso say, and the human rights lawyer or by him. Yafura deja metu abonte ni enye ya ayaka die say pedi fo mo promo bia ye ko na nado abreso ni o me bi nsi na esisi na we na eno mi o ni o me nsi ye nko na esisi ni o ma ensi se nyame anim ni nya me hu video no me se fam ye me se fam se what is happening e dia na ekoso Ghana so ba panyin pa Kwame nyame anim ni ya wo me no obese senior citizen. That's right. Oh, fear. That's right. Fear senior citizen. But me who be say that. Wow. Sanke bi akron for memu na ebo kron bi wa banya ache no na ye bo na ye biri ni atete no ho ba se bi ohima onko bo kron no onko di obi atem sempo ahinsem bi da ba endu sa level no obi nuenti obi owo aban mu ene bra na champo na no na do wani asie hotel wafri hotel masese de akonya so da do wani asie na emrantie bi na ehye national security omo se national security workers ntade no won se na bi wo sa bibi na say ntade na bi na so mo aya so no na America no ntade na ekoso na police ni wugina ho na bibi say ekoso wugina wo hwe wo spectator na say ono no nya spectator o da bi Kwame wo gina mu di mu tintime de ekoso no na wo di mu tintime Kwame baby ahimfie ni ba akwan no say omu gina na say enti mu gina say the police enkoso ana say anka wo say mpo no bibisa mutimi pentoma e de kata nipa na daja so wow we nyina ankoso wow Kwame niema sisi wo Ghana de e wo se to apa na sisemu enti na bibia di adanse say e wo se sesa na e be sesa nso and wa ba ye wa adwen say wo to ama ba omia no e kire say wo no pese ade ye ekoso yi ebi nto aso umpo man ye anyway yanko ye ni me yo Kwame ya de ensam na anope eye de ubo adwuma no ade aba no eno na ya de eto aso ade ama tiefo na mesha se e wo Daily Post ko wakrata no emu na Daily Post ko wakrata ni chirem se Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ade aba betudwa se Ghana che se nei obi anya bibidi se de na nkrofo ka se nipa dodo endromo ani di omodae no Baumia se da bi eni ho sa obi anya bibidi na nyame adom se eye fact checking ade abetudwa se Ghana se ka se obi anya bibidi ekomondi ya ne eboa enye nokore nti ekomadi ya ne de ano ohye pa mese nipa bebre na ebua da so munye bibi indi obedi bibia na nsuo na onom nsuo no kora no enye nsupa because wuntimi num pure water ya di sika na eto nti wuntimi num bi nti na esa nsu fi dia aduro ni wona na abenum no nya kidney na se how na na ewo nti ehonsem na eye Daily Post ade abetudwa Kwame yeto so a ya Mame Lodina Foundation no edaso eye nwuma pa na ekopie ewo abodoma wakosi health center maternity and children's ward kama ade amomo iseni nyina no oti abonten krani o yes na se womu a ade na age ni so obeye nti amana kwanja you see do aye na nando de bekwa akwaji fans or de bekwa akwaji ni se maternal deaths so ba akwa awo na wo no esotia and nanado ya Lodina Mahama ese ayare sabie yi bebo amasa ade so ate no obekwa akwaji amana no aka say yes ma memu mu ntutu ye papa and amasa ade we yes you asre guso you asre meanwhile Lodina otini baby former first lady and yes any group president adintu on na dabi enye su no super chow wo ye adwuma no ade aboa Ghana we na kire se obaby papa bi ade ama nti wonsam ewo ho Kwame ntro ne ba akoso wa ha ntro bi ho apa na yɛse ba omia sɛ kyɛ sɛ free senior ha no etimi aboa ma sɛ Ghana asuafo bɛyɛ 5 million ɛna sɛ etimi aboa mo na ya check yɛse ɛnyɛ 5 million na mo ɛyɛ 3.1 ɛna sɛ akɔso na no kora no omunya aduan papa bi ndi baby on beda ne ade na ya de ekɔ nkan nti 5 million no ɛnyɛ 5 million ɛyɛ 3.1 million ɛna sɛ
no over 2 million wonya free
ɔde abɛbom
what the 2 million na
abɛka wo ɛno yɛ adwene mu kabini ɛnkɔ nti wɔbɔ na adwene mu ɛne bi abata ho nti ɛno nsɛm ɛna Daily Post ɛnso ɛde no kura wɔ mu no ɛde aba
ɛde abɛto where figures free
figures no ɛyɛ figures a sɛ wohwɛ ɛyɛ statistics a nipa nkasa ahwɛ te sɛ fast checking ne bi fast checking ne bi no ɛna yɛde akɔkɔyɛ a yɛhu sɛ no kura no ɛsɛ de nyame adom fast checking no woyɛ utwa ntora
sɛntwɛfo no de
bɛba nti ho nsɛm ɛno no Kwame Minkah Daily Graphic ɛyɛ kowakrata no emu na ɛno nso na okyerem sɛ ne no graphic nso eti ase abɔnten a wakɔyɛ hwehwɛmu na ne nyina sɛ dia ɛkɔ so wɔ parliament na ɛte sɛ judicial ntem no ama kyɛ sɛ Ghana for yɛmu pipe obia wɔ baabi a ogyina na okyerem sɛ dodo no ɛkyerem a na ɛsɛ dia ɛkɔ so no ɛnya dia ɛbɛboa ɛyɛ poor ɛho nsɛm no ɛna bi nso ɛgyina average ɛna bi nso sɛ ɛyɛ ma yɛ kɛm Minkah bi
adeɛ no wote asɛm no ase a ho obubofu MPP for no you need to understand the echoes of Mrasibegafie. What tea assem na se said the enra honorable rocks in nature dafia meko. Echechemu and ram honorable is abeka one. Now on also didn't the bata. Was a MPP MP ne buy and former Okaikwe North MP ne buy no. Was it assem no? The real yarn say yeah the political solution in a bit more solve. So legal solution now up on your mark and pray no compare no. And find a quiet.
And do baby.
Was a political solution. Political solution is yeah. Mrasibegafie. E one ye dia same way.
Mrasibegafie. And andona make say nipa ni bi wo ho bibia yenhwe se owura chairman sabonsu so na wo ho anka bi asemi no obehu kwan maturity or the befa so bi ankankodu bibi sayo.
Enemre ma ye di remote control na control go for.
Kwame
akache mensa bonsu wo be wanwa
sawo ho because onu
na kasa abonyo o kasa abonyo mic onu na kasa
afenyo no
obi kasa fa ni mu efri
me hu se post nu na afufu no
wo se post
se ne MP no pese still a o chiche sika no de gio
akua obi kasa fa afenyo mic mu
yo
obi wo petumi bi
monkasa na
kasa fa ni mu
na dia wo ka no emfo obi amu dia wo gina chi a wo ka na afenyo nko mu na befa na bisa se eje se eye NDC MPs no ni o ma aka no sa asem no ebetimi afọ mu sa na tatache kwan sa no entimi wura ho enti ho nsem na se paper no ade ababetu dwa sanso na na do se petroleum hub eba no ebe create nyuma minim de ebe create esan se unemployment no sura na eko enti ho nsem e wo ho a tese ko akrata na kasanso na se Ghana aye ahia hodo so aye ni aman ahodo ahye so no e wo se bambo no emiem nti no se mpanyimfo anim de e wo bambo nsem akohia omotoato adwena hwekwa ye betimi abejan se wo so me niye abato no bia betimi abɔ awuruma be ha oman Ghana nti wo nsem na se ko akrata no ade ababetu dwa sanso na se eye Martin eye German sakosa enso akopa nyuma bi hontoma e wo eye Techiman mpati mo honso Techiman South ene Franza
dia no akopa ho
dwa bia wasi na daada Kwame dwa esi ye na Anabra market ezem fi wona eba minu daada efe no akopa ho ntoma nti ho nsam eno no yanto aso ewo eye Ghanaian Times eye kowakrata no so emu na Ghanaian Times e kiremu se ene eye waye ana Fisheries Commission ana se Ghana Military Armed Forces kabo mu ebe kire nipa mmebu no kwan efa so eye nam Kwame na we military esimu on betcha fish farming
asafo no betcha nsum nam
say yan no aha enti honsam e wo ha ko akrata no eka sanso enene no say eye obinfo bi ade tudwa kire say Ghana kemam nkabi no edubra wo se hwe na yebo free speech no chese ho ban so bia betimi anya akwanya akasa say bia okasa ne yebo okasa ne yepa ho ntoma ye tata ye da wo ma ye ma wonda na say opon bi kura dwane efi Ghana ekotena nkrofo aman so ne nyina no say o say guide na etimi abuanti eye Professor Hans na ekasa asemi ewo ha sanso na eye Chief Justice efi wa hye say court makomako na bia wo eye Upper East no a ye tutu mu no ye nkonko biebie na enhya sinya adwumanti wonsem na Ghanaian Times so ɛde aba betudwa kwa ma mentoa so na menkɔ manim ɛwɔ ha na ɛsɛ ɛyɛ kowa krata ɛyɛ the New Republic ɛna mede ɛtoa so na no so ɔkyerɛm sɛ mafia nnwuma bi a ɛkɔ so ɛsɛ ɛyɛ wuniba mafia ɔse ɛyɛ Supreme Court matters of Supreme Court versus Parliament the wuniba mafia na ɛsɛ wayɛ diagram no kama ɛde atea na wohwɛ wuniba mafia na ɛsɛ ɛyɛ Chief Justice nimfoni ɛwɔ ha mami tɔkɔ ni ɛwɔ ha
asɛ hɔ no free
hɔ no free ɛna ɔba ɛyɛ aseɛ kakra owura afenyo marken enso ɛda ha
wuniba mafia 2
ɛna ɛyɛ owura Jogate enso ɛda ha ɛna fe ɛyɛ Afiagate nse Jogate ba na Afiagate na sɛ wohwɛ judiciary ne dia nyame anim ne wofa ɛyɛ Afiagate na fa emiranim for president ya ɛna sɛ wohwɛ ne ɛkɔ na sɛ akɔkɔyɛ wuniba mafia ɛna gowakrata no ɛde abetudwa sanso ɛna sɛ ɛyɛ ɔbɛmfo opoku agyeman enso ɛsrɛ sɛ Volta region sɛ mmɔde na yɛnsɔre ntai NDC ameyoko no akyi ndi nkunim ɛho nsɛm so ɛwɔ ha ɛna baka vomowo enso ɛkasa fa de ɛkɔ so sɛ Ghana atɛntrene no adwuma nankasa yɛhia reforms na etimi aboisan sɛ ɛkyi reset wɔ ho okay reset esan sɛ ɛkyi kɔtuma de ade yaw ne ade nyina yɛdo kɔgyina court yɛnhwe anim kura ne ama obe na ɛsɛ yɛdɔkɔ nti wo nsɛm nyinaa ɛna ɛsɛ ɛyɛ the New Republic enso ɛde ababetudwa ɛnɛ anɔpe Kwame mami wie ɛwɔ de nkosita gowakrata no nso emum na ɔkyerɛm sɛ nei wohwɛ ɛkyɛ galamse ku a yɛsɔreyɛ na wɔtwe atwam yɛ kan nei ɛsɛ atɔ nsuom ɛsɛ yɛnka ho nsɛm biom ɛna manfo no hyɛ wuram ɛna ɔmo sɛ yɛnsutu ɔho nsɛm so ɛwɔ ha gowakrata no ɛka
woni ne agya manfo agya aka no
dabi
look oka asɛm dabi ameka ɛsumi hu si yɛyɛ biribi afa ho a so
bɛpa aba
ɛna Ghana na yɛwɔ mu saa bere no ɛnti sɛ maama pɛn so a ebi scandal we si a ɛgye 1 month or 2 months or sometimes a year later ansa na foforɔ asi o Nanado ni baumi ɛyɛ back to back mix after mix beat after beat
atataso saa atataso nko antene dɛsɛ aginsɛm hu bia wo ka kora biom
wo ka we na foforɔ na
edi akyire ba
ɛkyɛ job amani hunu
bebre na sɛ ahaw na to santene nti wonsɛm ɛna sɛ ɛyɛ kowakrata no ɛka Kwame mami mfansia na efe oye owura ɔmane boama nso ɛka sɛ da ɛbɛto aba no collation center hono the cent yaboni antu nwie kura ne quality by 75% nti eno no ensama o ka kire ani sam yoku na gitafo nyina mami fansia na to aso e mame
but as yakua krantima senior citizen happy birthday kasia pa nkoma Maureen Ariam du South Maureen Ariam du South wait a message through mame Amanda Sedo something can just say onyame nankasa na basa kase no enko so na wo so no wakoma so ade nyina mram wo Yesu di mo it this is to you Maureen Aram Disao happy birthday going out there to you Paul Sterling Machi Popo Elembele Popo na to say Popo 1 Minister Mario said Jambra di Chano pay Lydia Camp, Eddie Janet Akoli, Baby Shabia Memo Chano pay. And official wise Ama Samai. Brahima Brakofi. Dignity Rights, Munina Mutaji, Charles Olins, Mutaya Chano pay. Sounds like true worth a tire Chano pay. And I yawada so confefe, and to be your mind better than say. Then come on, they better on Wabe Feely. But as an true worth. Ewo bibi sunu kubi awade cheye kwa te said yo ye na yawade bia doc agwaba
mejo so da sebre
osofo doctor bibi abogod ye
nyankopon adom
ye da nyame ase na true worth de na mo maye
mami ne wase na memfa enchia ne ase da sronko ema Ghana man a mo hweye na mo tie yen sabe ewo TV XYZ and afi Power FM so na ye can True Worth Company Limited mama and then so nyame ya dom ya ye nhyira ya sanso ba bi hye mu bi mu ye bedi ya pom de ho nkomo True Worth Company Limited wati enka ewo platform bibre so wati enka radio stations bibre so eye Indian company kese a yaso ye no ewo India na eye India hama ena yakeka bo mu a ye de aye ahabandru a yɛnnuro no ebi wɔ wiase afɔ na nyinaa na nyame nkyade yɛnnuro no ebi abiduru Ghana ama Food and Drugs Authority ayɛ nhwehwɛmu afɔ yɛnnuro no nyinaa ho agye atomu sɛ nnuro no ɛyɛ papa ɛbɔ adwuma enti Ghanafoɔ ɛmfansa wɔ mo ho yareɛ enu a yɛde abadwaman so no ɛdɔɔso na abibia no ayɛ na meka sɛ nipadua na akɔ ano yɛn kane Nyankopɔn de ma yɛn ɛyɛ yɛn nikosua enti abibia me hyɛ ase akasa fa yɛnnuro ahodoɔ no ho a ne ɛhwɛ ani no ɛna medi kan ɛkasa fa ho ɛsan sɛ wɔma w'ani ankɔ w'ani kosua no ho ana wanya dagye amma w'ani na w'ani fira Okania Nyankopɔn de ma wo no mama okania no adum enti abibia no ɛwɔ sɛ uma w'ani ho ehia opapaapa aya na meta aka kyerɛw sɛ me papa baako me ni di nkɔmmɔ ɛgye experience because ɔno n'ani afira na wɔkania wɔ famu ɛne atete a wɔnamu ɛwɔ asetrɛ mu a in fact areho wɔno ankasa ne yira wɔne na wo mienu na damfo nimpɔn ɛna agye ne yira free ne nsɛm a wɔba ne si wɔntumi ne obi a n'ani afira entena akwakoye areho sempa enti enne se nyame ayɛ adom na wani mienu etumi hunu ade na wutumi nante ekoba ehwe wabusua bomodian se wobema wani kosua no ɛho asɛm ahia wakɔ hospital na doctor akacho se wonya pressure ana se pressure bo wani no so wonya glaucoma me pacho glaucoma no wonya ekosei entini kase bi a ɛdomboa ɛconnect wadwen no ɛma uhunu ade sa entini no broni frɛ ne optic nerve no se na hoɔden ɛba fam a ema senia usi hunu ade no eba fom enkakran na wantu anamo a ebedu stage bi wani ne eba befra kra se pressure bo wani kosua no so wani ne eso yo hene aya na ebinum fi se eye koko nti omo anum koko no a ekotwi kobraman enso still problem no eda so ewo honum wani no aya na eso yo hene na wo pesa na epru nsuo eye kokko wo bi hwa ade a wo hu ne blɛ ade ben na wo hunu ewo atiri nsuo a wo hunu wɔhwɛ entweye na ni nyina atu abom obi wɔ hɔ a ade sa wo hu na ade kra me pacho mama uyi obi a wo sa ɔhawi ana sɛ wakɔ hospital ne yaka kyerɛ sɛ wonya glaucoma ana pressure bo wani kosua no so a indiafoɔ duro papa ɛbɛboa wo ɛyɛ true world vision capsules no obi a ɛtɛsi wani so ɛtɛ esi yani so a ɛbɔ yɛn ka yɛnti efifi ketekete enkakran na ɛkate yɛni kosua lens no so wontu anamon na nebroni ɛfɛ ne cataract ɛtɛ no ɛkate wani kosua lens ni nyina so a automatically no ɛnya ade a wobɛhunu ade biem ama na yeye ɛmfa ho ni stage bia ɛtɛ na fifi wani so akoduru empo aduru mpempen so a yɛkɔ akɔyɛ surgery na sɛ operation a bomodian na hwehwɛ true world vision capsules na achi akwan na ɛno ɛne bedi aboa na ayi saa ɔhaw ni nyina ɛde afiri hɔnom amanfo a wɔn wɔ amanɔne aya na wɔn te yɛnka wɔn ni yɛn di agro edi nkɔmɔ mekai sɛ recently yɛ wobi ɛma ne maame ɛba yaso ɛyɛ na wɔba yɛ no na kyerɛ sɛ yare a edi ninya ɛyɛ diabetes ɛne hypertension na wohwɛ lab test a maame no eyi gu hɔnom a ɛbɛburu 8 na test a wɔyɛ ne nyinaa no nso no ɛyɛ adeɛ sɛ wokɔ hospital na ɛho hia sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ woyɛ lab test na yɛbɛma wayɛ ɛho hia nanso ɛnuru a wɔnom nyinaa no hypertension ɛne diabetes no still ɛda so wɔ hɔnom a ɛdi ne nya na wɔba yɛaso ɛyɛ hɔ a yɛmaa no aduro no ɛmɛpem ɛnɛ ɛka bebrebe ɛne ɛnududu ana wɔnom nyinaa no ne nyinaa ɛnɛ ɛto atwa a ɛnya adeɛ a hypertension ɛne diabetes no ɛdi ne nya biem mepatwɔ woyɛ obi a mojabroso ene asiche yare hawa bomodi a nefo ani echemu ewo yasoye na enu papapa ya yede aba no yentumi emfa bi enhwo na yentu yare na ase ema me pacho obi a wo entinimu yare a wo hwe mesabri obedi ehu se wanya entinimu yare unya entinimu yare na ewo kwa na onsa ye otititi wonase etimi ye otititi wobi se anansi acheme wobi nante ana ye se pin wo ne namu me pacho obi wo ho a wo se ne sisi etweba ne to ase ebesi ne nase ne ye ka ne siatika yi me pacho entinimu yare nyina no ye wo nerve alive wo ho no ma eye indiafo aduro papapa ya chese eye india hahama ena yakeka dia bom ye no ni nyina no any side effect bia na unya nerve alive na ɛbɛboa na ntinimu yareɛ na wanya no atumi asia no kwan ɛyie firi hɔ no mo koraa mepaakyɛw bɛrima a wayɛ mmerɛ ɛwɔ kɛtɛ so yɛn bɛrima no nnompe nim ɛyɛ ntini nko a enti wonya ntinimu yareɛ na ɛkɔfa ɛnamu mmerɛyɛ ɛde ba enti woyɛ obi a wanya ɛnamu mmerɛyɛ anaasɛ obɛrima no ntumi mu adwuma yi a mepaakyɛw wonya never live na ɛbɛboa na mmom yɛwɔ ɛmɛɛma duro special wɔ hɔnom a ɛno ɛnyɛ yɛanom aduro bi a kyerɛ sɛ wonom a na wanya ahoɔden soronko na ne ɔba kɔhyia mu wowia na ho ayɛ ɔhyehyeehye na wotiri dwaw mepaakyɛw daabi wei deɛ ɛyɛ India hahama ɛna yɛakeka bɔ mu a yɛde ayɛ male 40s a ɛyɛ ɛmɛɛma duro tatahwe bɛrima bi a wo bɛrima no ɛwɔ sɛ mogya blood ɛtumi pɔmpe kom na ɛnya ahoɔden soronko na ɛntimi sɔresɔre na ɛtumi abɔ adwuma ɛntimi sɛ blood mogya no ɛntimi mpɔmpe nkɔ wo bɛrima no sɛnea ɛwɔ sɛ ɛkɔ no a ɛyɛ a na ama wo bɛrima no afɔn no a yɛ ketekete mepaakyɛw wonya true worth yɛaduru a yɛfrɛ ne male 40s ni bi a ɛbɛmu wɔbɔ adwuma pɛpɛɛpɛ mepaakyɛw ɛhyɛ mu 30 capsules anwummerɛ bi a wokɔda a wobɛfa baako na wonom 30 capsules ne ɛwie a wonnom aduro biara biem wasiw dadam wasiw mmeranti berɛ mu wobɛtumi abɔ adwuma abibia a wopɛ sɛ wo ne wo yere ɛtumi ɛkɔ kɛtɛ so na afei nso yɛwɔ aduro a yɛfrɛ ne joint 40s mepaakyɛw ɛyɛ nnompem ne yapɔ so mu adwuma ɛnyɛ painkiller nti ne yie paa ɛnyɛ painkiller na mmom nea akɔfa yiyaw no ɛde aba o cartilage okotodwe so wapɔ so baabi a grɛgrɛw no ɛwɔ no yɛ a ɛhɔ no maawe a wonante a wote yiyaw no ɛkɔkɔ repair ɛkɔsiesie ne nyinaa ɛma ahoɔden soronko enti saa yiyaw no a wote no wo nnompem wapɔ so obi wɔ hɔ a wɔse me kotodwe ho no ɛmu tutume ɛmu ya me ya obi wɔ hɔ a wɔbɛtena dwa so da mu ne nyinaa mepaakyɛw me papa driver ni wompon anwummerɛ no usisi wogye wo ho a ɛnye mepaakyɛw woyɛ obi a wowɔ saa ɔhaw no wakɔnya nkwanhyia wonamu abu nsɛm abu usisi akɔfa yareɛ bi ɛde abra wo mepaakyɛw bɔ mmɔden sɛ wobɛnya joint 40s na ɛdi aboɔ na ɛyi saa ɔhaw no nyinaa ɛde afiri hɔ nom yɛka yɛnuanom mmaa no ebinom nenam mpaebɔ ebinom nenam akɔmfoɔ so ebinom nenam malamfoɔ so a wɔn ɛpa awoɔ mepaakyɛw woyɛ ɔba a tie me yie yɛwɔ lady fort wɔ hɔ a ɛsiesie yɛnuanom mmaa aduro no din ɛde lady fort yɛ a ɛsiesie yɛnuanom mmaa wɔba bi wɔ hɔ a ne menses no ɛba this month a agye next 3 months ɛtwitwa sisi wɔ bi wɔ hɔ a ne menses no ɛma akora nso wɔnuru bra a ɛwɔ sɛ wɔtwa ne bra mepaakyɛw ɛyɛ yareɛ na wanya ɛwɔ o system no mu bɔ mmɔden sɛ wobɛnya lady fort no bi ɔbaa sɛbi nsufin gu na nkabɔne ɛwɔ mu sɛbi ɔbaa wofa anyensen ana anyensen anaasɛ wontumi mfa anyensen koraa wonya lady fort no a ɛbɛboa asiesie w'awodeɛ no ama wo ne bɛrima ahyia mu a mepaakyɛw wokɔsua no a wotoo no ahoɔden atumi abom na watumi afa anyensen ama ne de anigye aba ma wawie no mu mepaakyɛw ansa na mɛkɔ m'anim ma memfa yɛn telephone numbers no ɛnto dwa na mo a mohwɛ yɛn ɛwɔ TV no so no wobɛhu sɛ telephone numbers no ɛnam TV no ase a wobɛtumi afa na wafrɛ yɛn na mmom a motie yɛn ɛwɔ radio no nso so no mobɛtumi afa yɛn number no na mo ne yɛn adi nkɔmmɔ 0558 724 302 0558 724 302 0558 724 302 and a 059 558 2628 059 558 2628 mepaakyɛw wo papa bi a wo ne ne tifie wo ukunu bi a wo ne ne tifie wo onana bi a wo ne ne tifie na sabi wanya prostate a na aduro eye prostate leaf India fo aduro papa prostate leaf mepaakyɛw onya prostate leaf na ebetu ni nyare nyina ase hwɛ adekronti a aya na yɛka saa India fo aduro ene wo mo ahabano eye di ho adanse a Ghana fo dodo nso agye atumu na wo mu di ho adanse no ye onipa dodo na ewo hɔ no ma wokɔ hospital na ye mo wa brafuduro na eye nanso me yare na wodi me kɔ hospital na eye malaria hospital ebeteki be ye 2 weeks na mo me fa herbal medicine na within a day metumi asori because obia ne senior ne system no esi etie enti me paacho bomodi ase ubetu anamo na enu a ye bobobobɔ so no ebi na mantimi anya adaje ammo oyare so ye wo enu wo ho wo bi a wanya enemu yare wo bi a stroke aka na atofom wo friend number na ye de ama wo na woton yare a ye bema wo enu aduru na nyame ya adoma mo a mofa akwanya no so na moba for free screening say ye free screening tester mugusu a mo frɛ yen da ben na true what mo be san so ye free screening ni biem ending of this month last Saturday a etwato ya eye 30th November ye free screening ewo yaso ye ho yenu amabobo so ne de wo frɛ yen telephone numbers na leading pharmacy drugstores herbal shops a ewo my Ghana fana ba bia ubenya eduro ni bia to honom na mum yaso ye kase ne de ewo Accra Adenta housing down udu Lotto kiosa ehonoma ena yaso ye kase no ewo Accra Adenta housing down Lotto kiosk ehonoma ena yaso ye no blue kiosk ehonoma ena yaso ye no ewo na mum se ne be ya onyira kwanti no wo fa ye number no na wo fra ye be mo direction no ba bia wo bia ye nuro no ebi wo honom maka cho se ya to apete leading pharmacy drugstores and herbal shops enti ebrenti mantimi a mo yare so a mama bomodin na fa ye telephone number no na oni yen eni nkomo sisi ai 0558 724 302 0558 724 302 na mum shedin soma me say free screening na every month bia ye de emma Ghana for no nyame ya doma emfa honi ba bia wo hye ebridi yanim enti ubetimi afa kwanya no so na 30th November last Saturday of the month wafa akwanya no so na odi aba be hwe wopom din eye free screening oba ye hwe free ena ye nuro no so no oba yaso ye hono ma aya na ne bo no ewo fom ukọ pharmacy a wo mo no be fa free ye nchen a aya na wo mo de kakra to so na mum uba ye nchen a se ne yetu ede ma pharmacy no sa pepepe ena ye de ema wo enti ene no pe ye be fa akwanya so na ya da ye ti for
dodo akwanya dodo akwanya
na mame na wase
true word for ya damase ene nkomo a modi abre na no pe wo DwaboAse wo power 97.9 chebia o mine transe bransa na mine be transe no be do beko antekeba abuku e me dese Dr. Miles Monroe and a tray your friend of the spirit of leadership Honorable Ato Sapon Kane Deputy Communications Minister and also a book be on leadership. Oh my goodness. Na ada Ato Sapon can say me was the leadership yen style leadership style yen fair ayana dan den you know what it for the kasa and for leadership Jesus Christ. Yes, you penny in the said was here the normal said you sit in the home bar from na yes you know enya no enumdwa enya fe no ba shop so obey na edu baby ne boss the when you no on a problem no solve pa no call yes you the tv wo na suafo na ase ate the american say leadership Facebook Live part 979 Solak Natural Clinic also quality first and a kidney yari and fabra in chain liver problems fabra in chain o jaba on munya bion ya mo ba ne no maybe na so fu bi de ne 988 oba no so da bia oba no ne ebo no so bo ze beba no so de ne ebo no ho ban mo famra Solak Natural Clinic Dr. Solak Kaykrado Obashamo Kama from what 0553932631 0553932631 Solak Natural Clinic also quality first. Happy birthday Nkoma Honorable Totobi Kwache aka Supremo Kane National Security Minister Honorable Totobi Kwache is your birthday sir. Happy birthday Kasia Pa Nkoma ni ama disimen kancho se nyame nkoso enhia ho na saa wakoma so ade na da bia o kadi gu nyame asum no nyame na nkasa mfa nchaw onfa ndom no onfa mawo ati de me kara say Honorable Totobi Kwache we celebrate you sir. It's your birthday. Happy birthday Supremo. Koso ane Supremo why? You go and take about you go in come on. Ohima Sachiwa Atenase on a beautiful Thursday morning. Ohima Agwaba.
Yeah, Minia.
Baby, I'm what here.
Yo, what dom? Now you're black and white. Then I say.
Baby.
Baby, me know.
Na sexuality na eko.
Aja be
Asa November ni dimirika dodo ana.
Ai, so November na special month nti entina mu nche. Ai, say me say 29 for.
Nti ye pentema ma yo.
Ye pentema ma yo, ye pentema ko di birthday.
Anyway.
Nti ye di ayaresa enso nenam. Ye ne Ghana fo di nkomo. Ewo ye number say di tudwa. One ye di audio message eba. Ene one nso so a wo mo efrey ene ye kasa. Nyamea enti no one a wo mo di wo mo yare complain ba nyina. Yenro eboa ema wo mo ahotoba enti ya na ye nige wo ho na wone ema ye nige bebre nso ye wone enum ye do na wo fredi adanse no kwasem ni ye sha doctor ankran pa enti meka se mo nkoso ana monye sa ye number no ne da screen so 0266 114111 0266 114111 mesrewa de ye pepa ye audio message no anasa de befa WhatsApp no ya na no ye isan se call no mpo de nya brebia na obetimi afa na uja message na abrebi obefa phone na obekọ no WhatsApp ohu na watie na amamu aye na ma de wohwehwe no wonsa timi aka nenta me free Antakeba Center ye na ye Spanish enro Spanish garlic capsules Spanish garlic mixture and Spanish ginkgo capsules bronya eba sa brei na wodi ahoden eye adwuma pupupu ade apenkwada bronya atade de ode beche sofo ene de ode bekọ akwacha wonsenom enkwada yi ntade ne de ombedi nti de bia na ebuyemu na wanhwe ya na wani akwa kofi ho so no akwaye adwuma na borso minu ya se de be ya onya pagam kosi awiem abra ye di bronya bre no na afi obo sasa wo home 1 day 2 days bo se ko achi na asom na wusisi ne ade odofo ye ho aduro sa bre na afihia mfra ma no fa wo ho a amfa yare amma aduro boost immune system aduro ebo se de be ya wa ho odem mu a wo nipadua mu no ani be ye den na yare mpo eba onipadua mu asane yare bi ba atimi aso ano eno ne Spanish garlic mixture Spanish garlic mixture a friend a mixture is say who got your yare and I bebo ne symptoms so nko se wo hunu bibi ampo woni pedua mu a ye didi ayenom nko ade eja bibi e bro kakra bi woni pedua mu a eboabo ano na dachi bia yi ne ho adi a kyerɛw se oye yare enti ne ho behia se abribia wo ho a obeye wo ho aduro Spanish garlic mixture ebeya abribia mebi me wonenom na wo declare wo system no toxins ane sade bone a esuma e wo nipadua no mu a ena ne ho adi no wo beyi afiri ho ama ahoto abana kyese wa anya akoyare kra so we oba na se be ma wudidie nkwade wo hia Spanish garlic mixture aduro no de enti etesa ne se sa wo hwe ene ma ekeka bom mu a empo ye de ato adaka no we kra mpo eketu bi e wo aduro ni mu ohwe Spanish garlic mixture no a enema ede aye no emu bia kwanipadua mu a ewonema hodro bebreba eye enu nti ene ewa kokoduro ka che so no yaduro na ese are free tirim kokosi ye na ase are hodro bebre eye ho adwuma esan se sa wofa ankatwade na sa wokọ internet so na akọkọhwe health benefit a ewo mu a eye bebre na se wofa garlic na akọhwe health benefit ewo mu a eye bebre wofa ewo na akọhwe health benefit a eye bebre enema mabobo suika ho a ada 13 saponins a ni nyina so sa yare bebre woni paduam ene aka bom ede aye enu nti ene ye wakodo ka kyerewo se wa na ba bi processes na kyese emoja kwanu mu asi nti moja ni du ho a ontumi mo nwura odofo koto Spanish garlic mixture do ni binenom ebema entini no a emu asie ma moja ni ntimi nkọ no odu ho ma no wo poso no emu ada ho ama moja na timi de fusane odofo se wutie me ene umu aye wudu but onye kese tie ye wode ni mu ye ni du ene ewo nipa kese e wo ho obi ye slim but okaso ntumi kan kwa ha ne ha wontumi nko ni mu ye ni dududu osi won huri almost keeping 5 ontumi mo ni mu ye ni dududu oya de kakra bia no wabre no wote so odofo so ye slim anasa wo so so mu aye dududu a koto Spanish garlic mixture do ni binenom na enchon na so ye obi a wo so na opesa wo che kakra eto de bia ase wo ankasa wo ho atumi se afi de me mo ayedu me size kwa na ekwa animo e bia wo ye size 10 wo behra na wadu size 14 wo ko 16 enti what me ka se no me pesa me ko 12 aha koto Spanish garlic mixture do no nenom e be regulate sense sade bone ene bad cholesterol na e wo ni pedue mu a eno na e build up no enane no e ma wo twe na se de aduro we sitie no e ye aduro a Yankopon nim de ni nyansa mu ne ahode ode hye ni nuaba mu ene de yeye etie ma wo meyi nkonka mama me tantantan wo baby a eduru a ayi bone no afiri honom na aka papa no de onfa ne nsanka ane eyi bɔne ne firi hɔ nom a de ansoma ne so wɔnkɔnkɔ yɛ nneɛma papa ɛwɔ nipadua mu ho adwuma enti ɛno no ɛmfa ne nsa nka ne mo bɛyi sade bɔne no na ɛyi toxins ɛwɔ nipadua mu na ama ahoɔden aba enti sɛ woforo stress kakra bi na wo home tohyetohye a kɔtɔ aduro bi ne nom woyɛ ɔbɛma a aduro yi adwuma wɔ ntini mu enti ɛbɛboa wo papa ɛbɛma wo gyina so kyere bɛn ama wo nsa ampa aduro ne yɛ aduro yi yɛ ma ɛma ɔba wo bu wo nsa a ɛntimi mma yie wo nom a ɛbɛboa wo ɛsiane sɛ ma mogya di afiri nti ɛboa wo brɛboɔ ɛboa wo saa ɛma ɛmogya dodoɔ a wɔ mu hia no ɔmo nsa ka ɛde yɛ ɔmo adwuma enti wo a wo naase ataatae no sɛ wo nom a ɛboa ma akwaa no a ɛno ne ho tekyema a na ama wo naase taatae na nya n'ahoɔden na mogya timi adi afiri yie nti nsuo na ɛtae wo mu ɛgyina wo mu a ɛntimi nni afiri ɛmfa baabi ɛsɛ sɛ ɛfa deɛ ɛbɛfa wo mfifiri mu deɛ ɛbɛba sɛ dwonso ɛne deɛ ɛbɛfa wo agya na mu na ne nyinaa aba no na aboa ma saa systems ne nyinaa timi ayɛ adwuma enti wo naase taatae a waduro ne Spanish garlic mixture yɛ number no yɛ 0266 114111 baabi biara yɛto aduro wɔ Ghana ha bia wokɔ na abɔ yɛduro din a wobɛnya bi sɛ wokɔ baako no wonyaeɛ a mesrɛ kɔ w'anim sane sɛ adepa ɛne ɛtɔn ne ho na adepa nso ne kwan nwa na wɔ Kumasi a Some Junction mesrɛ a woduru Breman West Some Junction hɔ no wobɛhu yɛ shop kɛse a nnuro ahodoɔ bebree ɛka ho bi na ɛsɛ baabi ɔsono awuo no awuada no nkasɛ mpa hɔ da ɛna baabi anwo ahwie agu no kɔkɔɔ mpa hɔ da enti no yɛduro a ɛyɛ Spanish nnuro no deɛ abere bi a wobɛkɔ no ɛhyɛ ɔtete sɛ den koraa wobɛnya bi ɛwɔ Breman West Some Junction hɔ ama wode asa wo yare anaasɛ watu akɔ akɔtɔn enti ɔdɔfo yi no yɛduro yi bi na ɛbɛboa wo nso a wotɔn nnuro na wopɛ yɛduro no bi atɔn no ɛyɛ 026 1141 11 number krona ofra doctor no bedi nkomo yane na ya ahofe dry friend Spanish ginkgo capsules no minim said ya ware free ne tie adru dementia omo wo dementia kra nom anya hoden na wa wo de ndru dementia beboa ma osua de a wo ho bi adwene mu esan boa wo cells said be ya enya abnormal growth na koye cancerous cancer ahodo nyina e slow ni nyini ne down enti koto Spanish ginkgo capsules Spanish ginkgo capsules eboa ma ho ye fe no na esan boa wa koma eboa wo organs no esan boa se be ya wadwene be ya adwuma yie na face so ukokete so obetimi ada eboa obi asa so da ebo ne asa wo tete voices asa wadwemu potoka se say anxiety o asa yam hyehye wasa bibi ba besi onom Spanish ginkgo capsules relax adwen ema wankasa wusa mpafe de bibi ada ne kwan mu ye dro no ye SPARNIS Spanish kotobi ne nom na ebeboa wo kai se ye nru nyina opemfo nom bi akwada oni 12 years enom bi de o ma abofra no fo nom bi yani ayaka de ma ne mema nyina adure ye ma yen ye was Spanish garlic capsules nso a ye fa ne daily supplement doctor se koto garlic adura ka chen so Spanish for de no ena se wo ankasa nso na wo fa supplement nso a me kan forma se nom Spanish ye garlic capsules ni bi na ebeboa utumi kan ye nunu mi ensa nyina bo mu nom ye na onom a e ma wa yaresa no ho bambo no ekonanim ntentem pa aduro ni Spanish SPARNIS Spanish garlic capsules Spanish ginkgo capsules and a Spanish garlic mixture.
That's right. Combination is powerful. Onum ni nyina bibia ebe kama. Me da say ohima sechiwa ene boa beboa enkomo na no pay. Abusu DwaboAse the power 97.9 and a TV XYZ and a powerful panel pa na eba no pay. Lawyer Hamza Suhini ofia and a face so Nana ya Jantua and so Eofia Nana ya Jantua a former general secretary at the Conventions People's Party communication expert Sanka no so Eofia yenino ebedin komo na nkomo na ye di ne fa said the amount for GD free as any biano ni hu ni zuzu aso e de gra na baaye e de ne betima ye e de afa ho enya ho gwa o institutions ahodo amafo GD afrim de ne betima ye ne asiesie ne aye ne ye basa nkomo no so ba no pa ubawura Franco Trading Enterprise phone papa bia wo pa to bia no unsa beka say ye Nokia say ye Samsung say ye iPhone ubawura Franco Trading Enterprise unsa ebeka biato smart TV abefo TV bi oko Franco Trading Enterprise ubenya bi ato ho just freezers any refrigerators papa pani bi ewo Franco Trading Enterprise obambonti ye the CCTV cameras abegu ho ni nyina abraha ne betobi from 0555 939311 and 02464 22338. Ghana baby abeko biano. Franco Trading Enterprise ewo ho. Eye phone papa. If you done one about TV so you ba ye twaso. Live on Power FM. your man and Yatrasi and medical culture say lawyer Hamza Suhini if you say why communications team member Emma NDC Amanyo Kono and a face so Mame Nanaya Jantua and so communication ya Abimupa face so Canino no general secretary at the Ma Conventions People's Party. Nientia a man for GD a man for re every year court mono. Ye baby di sanko no sanko ama fontaine ye be pane puma sibre ye be bie sanko mo ni mu se de be ye be nya ye ho ntiase ye ne ehunu ne ye be ya ye betime yi ye ho e de afiti be ya ye wo mi but ye ba wura eye kolote empeso aso sa police pani na ya transfer no e de hu bi aba amafo bisa se e de na asidi na ba ye transfer no ono na da bia ya ba be special voting special voting nti ene yi na free one na opanyin bi wa homa yi so wadi enkomo ye chi pa ene enkomo woni mu pa ye kwa homa no so na ye de na di enkomo ba bibi nti bambo nti ye mfa ne din entuga opanyin me mo ache mo akwa aba
so itia wuti fo nyina
etiefo ne ahwefo so ejo so ye da se so se what yes one year bekasa under these strange circumstances na boyemu ade pa na si wo kole klote titru bia ya ye ba be ye special voting no post panyin ya transfer no what ye titin sembi wo so wadi nsem na chi e de ade
na ye me da wasipa na msa cha chief afefo nyina wo say police ke beto aba the ballot papers in back police station, also police station now. Were custody of the station officer in them. Or now ballot papers now when in them, the ballot in or not. And will transfer will be in December. The O2 about quite the register special voting so better Tunaba or Osu. And then ballot papers back. Then now your transfer station officer zone field with immediate effect on park name in mention.
See what should be ballot papers ba and a station officer and ya transfer no and I say ya catch us one free one
ya transfer no eco voter region so free with the ticket ama na enra
but me anti bibia say station officer no na dwuma pa wo ho ene say e ba abato yi mu a hia ne hu hia ne ye de kire yen
okay station officer no say abato ni plus say ballot papers na e dey back consent na ono na e be di ntem ona ye law fia ono kra kiki na be dey be law na kiki na kra no ono hwe ballot to want to say if the baby yi ballot papers ne fio and they are called polling station at night the morning before the elections no ni na ekwe woni sem
okay afi to aso
na ballot papers never osu police station hodom obi an station officer obi enim no say obi a wo chide wonu say we wo ha obi entimi fifi obi entimi ne bibia we you know things are COP to echo leave pending retirement. Omo enfo bia call director general welfare because omo sanction transfers. Obi eni wa o hwe sa anyema nso e be transfer. And the police should be transfer in December. Take place of 3 weeks to election. Police so ete omunya border omunya transfer no e dey new sir.
Wow.
And where you information no political way no more ye I feel that you almost say your mama 1 foot crowd be to binka but that 1 foot to be to binka me ba no be wo police station or
but what say answer na beba ho no e de na ma wodwen say political machination entina sa transfer na koso because I post for the exam komo de amanyo 70 de komo nka ho bi o
I say political machination because ballot papers ni ba on nipa na or what keys to the place on the crown station officer no on na keys ni crown no on na obi aye we ga bi ni yi ballot papers ni pie ni abe sort ni na afi ni asa tu ya akosho obi on na nyina crown no
it is submit
to the keys
it is submit wase a nipa ya yama ne kwai de ne owo osu police station ya yama ne kwai a woko voter region no na obia edi na ho dance say wo ye obia ye wo gidie wo mu say MPP o say ndisi obia wo gidie wo mu
wo de munya wo so bi enfa osu na obia wo
wow
Pia wo jide wo ni mu. Osu police station ankasa no. Omo ma be station officer na omo na you obi station officer kwa da.
And I was supposed
3 weeks to election.
And I was supposed for shame no. Say beka na otwe miensa. And I say ye bewura bronya bosumi mu a yenye transfer. Yenye
transfer because the pakwa na muche omo na say obi an tell the person to special vote no mo register na ho. And an so obi a tell the person to na ba register so to no ha. You say what transfer banako vote are you trying to say the never no second special vote na.
So is it the case that your obano munni jidie wonu because munnim said the adwuma yo city on.
Ye no kasa kwa ye ni ba. Nipa edniba ankasa yinim no.
Wow.
It's in the ballot papers na get a side in the Central Police Station. Near distributed Obia de constituency. Yen cross college the member of the police station. Near the best station officer and to know a BA the near the national no aside law, no be a confi. And then 11 o'clock, ballot papers will be to the police station. After the Nipa or take over from Nipa in or no.
Okay. Mami Musa way. Say what you say a political machination. Only a corner ye dene bano so obey adwuma e de aboa political party bia. E de na ususu obetima ye. E de ade.
O say ballot papers no one in team. It is obi eni ho na the in the frame near ye 2 million second so ye lock here or no ni frame na wo. Because you have come there, 2 special votes on the second area. At the police station, on to tell on the seven, you have to go to all the top police stations and you kind of because you can special voting. If you don't have neighbor, no, you have 2 special votes now. Ballot papers, no, the ballot box, no, the chair. No, where ballot stuff, no, Mr. Ballot box, nobody before me. So I bet them. Did you have your word with me?
It's your band saying no more bad day.
Yeah, the police one, yeah. You bet that one could say you are baby on the stand by declare your mama president elect me senator MP elect you. We obuja go you don't mean that at a police station.
Na police station one you down money ye.
Oh you bet now. The police station say aban. E now go security protection ho. E now e go da ho. You can be bibia ko to ada ho.
But me person me down party na di but we were for so mensa. NDC for Guana, a resist our concerns we are now.
Say your concerns here, NDC and MPP on the ballot papers.
That's right.
And the political party be on town. And you, I tell you, no, you have to buy the papa.
But me say,
time you know, I can papa crown with you. Time me wrong. Because and then the party very three ballot papers. Now you watch it. The party will say the ballot papers never be custody. I'm a take it in charge here in our documentation. No, I'm looking at the quality here. What you would want. No more even now. So if you're near the ballot papers, for me, I'm catching.
But me say, o share Electoral said the amount for we are thousands of Betuama, Dr. Zenato Ajima Rollins now. Concerns, you know, NDC in one area now. And MPP for
you consent across board. Police will now raise consent.
My goodness.
Police will try raise consent. It is wrong.
Wow. Very well. You have her and Kaino. You better also now. Ya koso edisa enkomo medo ase pa opani ene boa obebo enkomo no na de ekoso e okole klote empeso aso no 3 how many 3 weeks to elections ye bewura bronya bosumi mu sabre we ne transfer station officer and station officer owo osu MPP NDC obia wogidie woni mu ye ba ba ye special voting. The post station one akoda police station. So we one akofaba. IGP. We yet ye baby. Ye nyina tie Ghana. Ye beto aba special voting be koso. Na sisi na say ya osu a station officer no. Amane ba yet ne say ye yi na free ho. And this is someone I'm for trust one mu. within this Kwale constituency. It will make you free. And I'm Obian Beche and Yentia. It concerns a man for his residence. Jambo be pursue ye bibi na eboti obi no binya wo bibi. E de kwana ni wabra ye be special vote no. Et ye NDC for no say wo mo ba kwa koda ho. Wo dada ye beto aba no. Nana ya janto akwa aba.
Ye Janet is saying.
So ini akwa aba.
Thank you.
Nyame dada ro me we ye. Enkomo na ni asase ano no. Kabi.
So I didn't know more. I no pay me the asema come my GP. Me ncha wahwe for ni wetifo. Me the asema come my GP say election na ye beto no. Ese so make sure say wenchi bi amba wo. My IGP CDS head of immigration omo nkrofo nya ebeyi wo mo ama o mapie aba be security work no. Me the asema come wo mo sister station so amekwa anope.
Wow.
Because a basis ben letter now or the ye no on family and
that's right.
As I see it, me who they work crata no. This is not the time. 23 days to election and you are making changes. I didn't hear. IGP omunje bibi yo. We Ghana, she minia. 2020 elections, 8 people died.
Yes.
Besine yenhu docket. Yenhu court to asem. Yenhu ehun asem bia. Nipa moche. Ghana form pole moche. Baku akola baku no edi 15 years or 16 years. Yenim de enko be ba beye. Otimasi maybe kwa Ghana Bill Gates anko no.
Okay.
Na wawu obi antimi nka ho hwe. I don't know. IGP de suban na wode kwa asen north no. If I cho on the same suban enfanye sa election because election a crucial election. A election a ye gi Ghana esi ho. A election a ye de to Ghana kra. Election a ye de ti Ghana ho ye dia say do bosin abo krono niema tantan. Inti no. Ese se omo ye steady.
That's right. And I had to an outside in Kano. Mamma Hamza Suhini, lawyer Hamza Suhini Mran Common. One
also on teach
you.
One time,
one thing where?
Hey,
one more.
Lawyer, D or a lawyer, ni.
Or a lawyer.
And to case na brofu cases in Guano.
Yeah, Mr.
Now, all see the engine was it what he has mammy kind. Is this Suhini dear what?
Suhini.
Small.
Suhini, so I mean, Madame for Pa. I am Madame for
Wow.
No, but he speaks small.
What happened?
He's better than me.
Only you're better than you.
Or far better.
The
irony is that I used to even.
He's asking who is the
speak Dagbani.
I think Alas and Soyin is the eldest.
So what happened? And what to make then you can be a name Who can't say?
That's the only language I could speak. You know, I was raised in Sunyani.
Okay.
So when I was moved to Kumasi, to Tamale subsequently,
to
join my senior brother
and
my other siblings, then they couldn't also speak any language except Dagbani.
So you were forced to speak
So I was
English.
forced to abandon Tree and started learning Dagbani along the line.
Wow.
That's how come I lost my tree. I couldn't even speak my own language.
Oh, but you couldn't lose the tree like that.
I was young. And in Tamale, it was more Dagbani than even English.
Yes, I know.
So I lost it. Probably if I had grown up in a better area, say maybe... Yes, and I can't settlement with
and yeah, that time that show you so.
But unfortunately.
The boy unfortunately, my man cabrofo. I want cabrofo. They are high and cabrofo. My man make cabrofo. And you a client, so you have a translator.
Don't worry.
Who translate our office? Me cabrofo. They okay.
Yes. Those you have, even Ga. Sometimes when you are dealing with clients, people have to come. If you can't speak Ga, someone will have to translate.
Obia said it said tell Nana Jandra to stop harassing my lawyer.
You see?
As a now I won't mean Kwame lawyer new.
I take very good care of the senior brother.
Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Kwame is your friend. How do you take care of him?
Ask him. I run errands for him when the errand needs to.
Also small. Me am come on so answer na.
Obi ahia me Kwame just say me na me nya omu yes me dear.
Anyway, good to see you, lawyer. So I'm sure you have concerns to share with regards to what's happening in Electoral. So just few weeks to the elections, station officer has been transferred. No reason has been adduced. There are concerns about a possible political or electoral manipulation going into the special voting. What are your concerns, sir?
I think that Kwame, this fits into the unfortunate narrative that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia have succeeded
in creating as far as these elections are concerned. And so for me, it is not surprising. We are not seeing it only in the Ghana Police Service. We are seeing it even in the Ghana Armed Forces. So many things are happening.
Really? What's
yes,
happening
so
there?
many changes are taking place.
In the Ghana Armed Forces?
Yes, in the Ghana Armed Forces. So many changes are happening. So, but the beautiful thing about the whole of it is that the NDC is wide awake. And we are also activating ourselves within these security installations to ensure that if for nothing at all, there must be a political party that is committed to the peace of this country and protecting the sanctity of our democracy. So I can assure you that irrespective of what they do, this is a country that is ready for change, and the NDC has committed itself to ensuring that will provide that vehicle to sustain that ambitions of Ghanaians, that is to see these people out. But you see, in terms of the changes, Nana Addo has shown over the years that he has no respect for our democratic institutions. And that is why I indicated that it's not just in the Ghana in the Ghana Police Service already. Only. It took place in the Electoral Commission. We have seen the hands of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Obama, even at the within the judiciary of this country. So there seemed to be a systematic agenda to corrupt every viable democratic institution that is engendered or that is intended to protect the democracy of this country.
And it's quite sad, Nana, I would say, and yet just democratic institutions, but even say crowd ye chieftaincy institutions.
Yes.
Ye uraho. Should you see what bet if you so video no show Nana ya janto bana bibi come say no me fanchire no. Should oba him oba penyi aya run ho na deja da bonten.
No fu nyina gu so ba no for crowd nka baby mienu a wo kata de no for ne eyi de bia.
But no me. No me.
But you see the me ya ne say yen kasa ohun ade na ya ne ya ke ano atum ne abeke ka brofo ni twi ane asore ko. There should be action. Say bibi say yanke see MP na wo area ho no. Any some assembly may right to the IGP. And omo rush ko ho. No omo ne ko dinkita ho say ade asini nie enye. And it doesn't look well. Maybe cry GP onim say it doesn't look well. Internet say so biti me kasa ye be kasa with TV so radio so ne akotene fi. There should be some action. Oti ase enya butu asem but a civil action na obenante akoho na ne GP akokasa say papa ade we ya wa ye feel say na apesa wo ye nti. Ye kire wa bokro no. Wa ye say. Oti ase ya follow ye ni aka lo esu yin o ha. Ni afa na ne de na ka ho. Ni de no ko ni IGP akotena se oti ase nti MPO area ho na sudie no constituency na adwuma se ese so otimi koye se yem se menua ba na ho zeneto.
That's right. Ono na what a collect here.
Ono collect zani me zani me pese me ka kire wo se ko na kokko kasa asem we fa nkrofo kan ho.
Oka police officer ne de no. Station officer na.
Yes, you have transfer no because you're suspicious. Ne yentimi nkire nimu. No so me kan kire yen sese na ade ne tie minim se zane de obetimi aye.
That's right.
Nti won sori no nko ma ne papa spirit ni nwura ni mu
no fire
no fanya adwuma oti ase se papa ni ho ai ba wo ho so oti de me che no
papa abetifi de ne
de enye na me pese me who what actually happened that
ya hensem
omo ro ma me no ho sa
say nyo no na ya hima anye we na ya ohiri bio yesi amanyofo de omo ho akohihye mu ebi bubo bra na champion din se ni nua ba ma bia pese ye de ne ba
na kwa de o se o pese ye irrigation na it was so disgraceful irrigation one village one dam na we hin na afi na be ye irrigation one village one dam I was spending who sika we say in dry areas no the digitalization no more ye nti o mu ntimi mfa anye hwe ana wo be ye irrigation at this time na sometimes o mo kasa asif si o mu nko ade ne yapam wo mo nya radio wo mo start ncho o mo handing over no so no mo bobo o mo shoot ngu adakam because you shoot no for the next whatever o mu ntimi nhye bio because yapam wo mo ye nto aba no so yapam wo ya hyehye wo yakomam si yapam wo Kwame pesem ka asem che Ghana fo nyina 7 December no pa mo obi ankodi banchi o mo obi ankodi mankan o mo obi ankonkonko di fufuo cause you di ho mpa abeka se wo da na ebo 12 ama oti ase obi yara o sorry anopa uchi wo sin so the brodua na echi say wo de atwapia na echi so the toothpaste na echi ye de efre bibia toothpaste.
That's right.
What you say ye kumasefo efre bibia toothpaste. Pepsodent. So do Pepsodent na bechi a uwie ya panware krafo atade zone. Na bobede ne ko do polling station. Udru ha do nsa akwakwo team ade no so no wato aba. Me say me CPP ni me twen for the next 10 days no. After 10 days na me decide baby amaba be come show bia de.
Unyan decide here.
There be.
After 10 days.
Because now I'm see me to ama me flag bearer. Ma me hwe ne ma ekoso ene ne ye manifesto. Da ben that ye be come ni party.
Wow.
Ti me and na adwena me dwendwen hwantment me ana. But say mbom pae ne Yankopon mam direction.
Yeah.
But ade ba ko say me cancel say hwe NDC for. At the level of the parliamentary, you're very careful. And the yempe hang parliament bia. Post I beg bia say John Dramani, but maybe we can say post there by increasing the yabre. But peace side no. Some kwa yes skirt and blouse. The ahuchire na bebre Ghana. For say matetis yes MPP for ni be Houdinis. So nim Houdini. So kai Houdini.
Yeah.
Aha, sa trickster no. Or ye trick bi no ayese no ayese. Houdini for SSC yes so must say print his excellency John Dramani Mahama t-shirts. And omo chairman crofo. Say Toma his excellency Mahama.
Not
to ama there be a negative. Wo bian fall for that trick. Because oba be yes na wo wadwin munim say o ye toma nipa no a okọ parliament oba boa his excellency John Mahama. Say NDC for ye mistake. Ne say MPP for nya parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah, parliamentarians.
It's not going to happen.
Minority for na say me home me ka de bi omo nya minority. Opposition for no more they were too nice.
Yeah, baho. Remember us here. Na ya link it to a judiciary now. I'm out for a judiciary. I'm out for GDF.
It's like 23 days.
Anyway, so you need just I mean, share your thought on this.
It is what I said will never happen. One can cheat.
Political infiltration into chieftaincy matters, no.
No, but this yes, it is not new. It is not new with the NPP when it comes to political interference, especially as far as our chieftaincy institutions are concerned, and not just the New Patriotic Party, but Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in particular. And it is important that people don't lose sight of that fact. Indeed, even in the most daunting period of Dagbon, when the Yana was murdered, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo played an instrumental role, and there were so many questions that needed to be asked, even as Attorney General, in terms of how he prosecuted the people and his earlier role with one of the royal families. In this particular case, I make direct reference to the Abudu family, and some of his actions when he associated with them is known. So Nana Addo seemed to be interested. His politics revolves around divide and rule, so it is not new.
But how does that work for him? How does that work for him?
It does, because what he does is simply is that, look, when he comes to an area that he seemed not to have an influence, what he simply does is to launch onto the chieftaincy institution, because he knows that people are emotionally invested. So even those who hitherto didn't have any association with him would be forced to come his way because he's seen championing their side of the chieftaincy divide. He does it. And again, you see, when people talk about Boku, look at the events in Boku. What really happened in Boku? Because even as opposition party, when we picked signals that there were going to be problems in Boku, as a result of the High Court ruling in Kumasi, our flag bearer and running mate were prevented from going to the zone, northeast region towards upper east.
That's right.
But the president himself, who is in charge of national security and has a national security minister, saw it prudent to visit northeast within that same period. And when he visited, so many people raised alarms and said that, look, knowing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he probably went to prepare the grounds for the onward movement of the guy to Boku. So if you guys are not careful, yes, after he leaves Boku, you are likely to have a situation on your hands. And true to their words, when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo left Boku, we all heard in the news what happened, to an extent that even people were maimed and killed on the streets of northeast region towards the Boku area. So that has been Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and that is the reason why the likes of President Kufuor cautioned against his ascension to the presidency, because they knew. And remember, Kofi Kumsen had to cry out when he was cautioning this country that with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president, he couldn't sleep. And this was a close associate of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nyahu Tomakulu, at one point in time, was the campaign manager of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He himself had to caution this country against an election of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president. But we didn't listen. So that is the trump card of Nana Addo. And what he's simply seeking to do is to extend his rule through Dr. Mahmoud Obawame. And I can assure you, Big Sis, in terms of the parliamentary, they have done all their research. National security has gone out there. They have done the research and they have realized that they are losing. What they are planning to do is to adopt the same strategy they adopted in 2020 using the military and the security agencies to snatch some of the seats. That is why they have resorted to planting stories that the NDC is struggling when it comes to the parliamentary seats. It is simply to feed into...
I've even seen a video, NDC Nibi Kotua, I think it's from the north.
No.
Or Panko for Chow. Now, Obisi Ezu, and Obikaze, no, you bet still I bet to my DMP. And people are suggesting that NDC is losing face in parts of northern Ghana.
It is not true. You see, that is another fallacy.
So I don't see a story.
You see, it is all being planted by the NPP to prepare the grounds to justify their rigging machinery come December 7th. But I can assure you that all what they are doing, we know about it. And look, if you look at Northern Region, for instance, we expect not less than 14 seats.
Out of the 17.
Yes, out of the 18 we have.
18.
We expect not less than 14 seats. Upper East, I can guarantee you that they are not going to get even a single seat.
But those are expectations. Have you worked towards it?
We have worked towards it, and that is the reason why I could have said 17 out of 18. But it's because of the work we have put on the ground. That's why I'm telling you that we are winning 14 out of 18. You see, in Upper East, it is grounded. In Upper East, we are taking all the seats in Upper East. And I can assure you that in Northeast region at West, Upper West is already there for the taking. You know, but up Northeast, we will not forget, and that is the mistake people make.
Those people are the way they voted during their primaries. I'm like,
I can assure you that this election, we are taking Wale seat back. I can assure you that Wale is going back to the NDC. It has always been an NDC seat. And the worst performance in Northeast will be 50-50. Mark it anywhere in terms of the parliamentary seats. That will be the worst performance for the NDC. And so we know what we are doing. And as for the propaganda they are championing, be rest assured that it's not going to wash. They are simply throwing dust into the minds of eyes of Ghanaians so that when they unleash that rigging machinery with the use of the security agencies, there will be justification.
Last question.
But I can assure you that no. There's no, we are not going to allow that to happen.
Last question.
No, even before, but the judiciary raised an important issue about the judiciary. And in terms
okay, that's fine. But last question on this chieftaincy political infiltration matter. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, a human rights lawyer. And the human rights lawyer, we've seen the violation of a man for rights, including that of the Queen Mother.
But nobody has said anything.
Does it shock you?
I am not shocked because that has always been the stock in trade of the New Patriotic Party. And Nana Addo Dankwa. You see, they succeed in packaging people for Ghanaians. But in truth, when you take out that cover, you realize that they become empty shells. They are empty. Nana Addo has succeeded over the years with the support of some few elements within the MPP to grant him that recognition as being a human rights lawyer. But the truth is that coming back to the law, what monumental achievements can you ascribe to Nana Addo that gives him that title? What? Because the law is based on evidence. We all know the cases that Nana Addo has championed. And in most of these cases that even can come close, he had the learned Chachuchi Kata as one of the major brains in terms of the legal reasoning. So when you look at the likes of what's the name, Chachuchi Kata, I think that we can clothe them with such level of recognition, but definitely not Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But you made it right. A human rights lawyer under whose watch a journalist was murdered, and up till date, no one has been apprehended for that. A human rights lawyer under whose watch as president, 8 lives were lost in an election. That didn't happen under Jerry John Rawlings in 92 and 96. That didn't happen under President Mills. That didn't happen under President Kufuor. That didn't happen under Mills and John Dramani Mahama. Is John Dramani Mahama a lawyer? No. Definitely not. But John Dramani Mahama's fidelity to human rights principles stands tall, even if you compare him to that of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Again, you are dealing with a so-called human rights lawyer under whose watch journalists had to be flown out of this country because of fear for their lives. The likes of Manasseh Azuri Awuni. Today, Anas Anas has become a pale shadow of himself. He's in hiding, largely because of the atrocities under this government. And you refer to this man as a human rights lawyer? Definitely not. It is part of the deceptive package that the MPP, they have succeeded in giving us, like they did to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as an economic messiah. Today, we all know the true Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his wit, as far as our economic sphere is concerned. So, Nana Addo has nothing to cling on to when it comes to human rights. And you see, let us not allow that deception to continue to prevail upon the reasoning of Ghanaians. That is not a fact. Nana Addo is deceptive. Nana Addo is wicked. Nana Addo is reckless. And when it comes to Nana Addo, two things matter under the sun: power and money.
Power and money. It is your cost you come on and I don't. Your cost you come nashi and see Yanchu Biaso because all her video now. Pause in the nimu and or buy him. I actually say Yana, Nadeja Guabonte.
No, your background.
So she ain't see her. No, Mamma so can't be. Mamma, so she ain't see a I mean, dinner at the end of the year.
The blessed is what I'm saying. I dare not say be banners or more can one feel you. We said, but I am a yes, a milk no so more chrome, I will be a din. To all men, if you be feed, yes, sir.
That's right.
A milk will be a my lawyer for advocacy will be a Ministry for Gender and Social Protection. We social protection. Well, video now viral will be a kawan to me and who and country. Any minister no dear not saying. And a milk way then I got to one on a saying. What I say? Because our ministry social protection come. Social protection and near my baby into a who in another quad the NBA on 1 year WhatsApp into maybe one
about me.
Baumia de Wayera. Baumia is lost.
And can digital man.
The Baumia no wahine. Ah, oh, no WhatsApp paluta. Apart from the Baumia power, walk at me. I send you a becker be a name. Digitalization, the okay can you and fact when economy I say. Was a digitalization, one you need a bed on capture, on custody assem, on car import substitution assem, the exports a bema you could on car. Nearby abstract beer and shut down fact when. And once some immediate solution.
But for son so cafe and no need that you know.
One as on
for President
if I try need them more fun on
I say and no the Baumia can and no need that you know.
Me of fun say me measured in how I some more baby kind. Kufo nim komo ade Yanum nsuo ntwan opɛ ho. Onim sɛ na economy ne yɛ bad. Me of fun nti asɛm so interview no ye me pese me kasa pi because e bia me kasa na akoya asɛm foforo. Because the Okaya class by back being any leader. Now we'll make issue leader. Who to money for no to your class of effort. What I say? Why not there some no court?
MPP leader.
That is the point.
I think you're marking.
That is the point. So I see a can't say more fear than now the litigation. And then the court of war cramp and all matter a friend is arbitration sentence, mitigation sentence, and yes, and be near the court.
Up and your argument in a say, send me back. Na mentime ho ase man woman so a do otimi di asem ne court.
Mentime ho me ase a one arm of government. Mentime ho ase ba wutimi di asem no ofi ho because we two sides. On unima dia omo a feel say speaker or NDC ni. Into omo who speaker in the light of an NDC person. What I say? Into no ye bibi enyo omo fe. Ai speaker ya de enyo omo fe. Into no mtimi kika na nim sa no. Hwe se ne afenyo mark be ye press conference kika speaker nim. Speaker of Parliament Abambagbin. The same thing I see. Ayi bi right honorable speaker okwe. Oh yeah, the same thing. Other than the man fan court. Ote enu krampo no na bibi ti say right honorable Bagman na ninji ho. But obaba be kan ho asem. E na mo bobo ho o Parliament. E na ehwo ara mo amu decide wo ho. Ono de ordinano abetum but we need numbers na ode be kan bibia e na eye ekoye. And sanka right honorable Bagman no no ye lawyer kese che afenyo marking. That time sanka ode be court. But who say in wisdom ese so mo kan e wo fie ho a. asɛm fie na asɔre na ade kɔ court asɛ woyɛ litigant o te ase nti asɛm fie efie te sɛ ɛyɛ saa na wo weekend ko dwom piani wakasa wɔsi sɛ wo de parliament asɛm kɔ court to parliament as wo weekend because parliament on na hyɛmra wɔn na approve parliament wɔn na approve chief justice o te ase wɔn na suayɛ ɛna yɛ di state of the economy address ba na suayɛ yɛ nneɛma bebree ɛyɛ dan sɛ woyi president free hɔ na suayɛ obi a ɛbɛfa no wɔ abɛn mu bi ɛnɛ sɛ wɔn decide sɛ yɛmfa ministers yɛn approve government ministers there's no government that is a very powerful institution sɛ wohwɛ constitution no mu a parliament impeach president back ben kura hwɛ obi ankɔ no oyɛ opposition ni a NDC wɔ ni mu no nkɔ no kɔ bɛhyehyɛ ama wo yɛ impeach because the constitution says sɛ wo yɛ government and now yɛ president no wa anya economic situation yi ama Ghana for ho antɔ wɔ ma si impeach anka back we bema process to impeach but was see utie ne press statement was see wabu ne konwa kwa chire amamu he said it with pain enu nti no okofa one independent be come ho na moye majority group yes because munya majority animguasefo 169 ama drop aba 137 still amosi moye majority as he said your hini bi ba ne na ewu ne papa ewu no wo se wo ye ohene ba still nso sika ni fie also still me your hene ba well because if you know there is no majority that's right kwam person busu asem se me penkrama mienu now kokofa adre ne kraman bremia wa brem nkrama mienu wa brem mo mienu adre ba ko kraman ba ko o ti ase adre ne kraman betimi asa nso so wo nye pe wo mu ntimi nwo wo mu ntimi nye hwe adre chimne ha ne kraman ayesi and no enye se wo so ye okraman it is an independent candidate no onye MPP ni say ye hwe notice of post about 2020 the symbol ye different be different we independent oko ECCC ya books e wo ho no 137 for NDC 137 for MPP 1 independent
but MPP for the say nya wo ken ye ade e besi daache enyansi ye no eye say oma free omo party mu a omu ko gina bato no as independent and at we free independent wo ko gina as MPP ni no
enye MPP for
say bibi e besi daache
Supreme Court to say sanity nti omu so ko kan omu asem a omu so wa asem but you see Kamala Harris time I will lose election anopa no no wosu ewia na otimi pepa na nim obehia ne nkrofo no o ka kire omu say me make chi boss brofo no hanka me kind of brofo anke be effective at least in comfort say or see
me
chire or see in this country we owe allegiance and loyalty not to a president nor a party but to the constitution which is the supreme law of the land.
That's true.
Or see krom ha yeti ye mu ye friend the president and I am fa ye were so enhye party but ye de ye were ni ye buo enyina ema ye constitution
ye mrapon
no a ewo ha no ye the supreme constitution at all ye wo etike 115 115 was say parliament asem ye can the parliament ye debate or parliament ye agree or parliament what am I say 99 so kase sa asem bi ba e wo vacancy ho any issues bia surrounding the vacancy in parliament and na say obi ye speaker na say obi nye speaker yen fa nko high court me ba cho mo lawyer ni wo ha sa 99 no where say woman me hu ne say ya hyenso de was determine and here so obi ko court no akwa determine bibi o determine outcome wo kwa here wo kwa tie both parties masem eno ni key words e 199 no inti ase chese bibi wo hwesanga ha but musimo de ko supreme court kasa intimi nka bi inti no si ye jase omo si de honorable bag me ye no unconstitutional inti wo de anya hwe se sa na ye ka no but the point is that mo ye MPP caucus in parliament no my request is say honorable bag me onye dey omie parliament na mo medi abobo na mo nya de muni afofie na mo pass mo niema government business mama nkrofo atu kwan wo say na lawyer bubo kuro bi sɛ one nanti kurom ha ɛna wonim baabi a ekwan tenten wɔ baabi hɔ atimi nante sa meka me general secretary elections me year 2020 campaign me a PUS ni nante me ma nante Ghana hwɛ anadwo bi ni efiri salaga ebetamale akoyem campaign me ba ye nam saa ye nhia nipa o
wow
wo hia mponje mienu no wo hia nwan mienu no ma cross the street no afa de nipa amene ne ekɔ ono ane brother no jingli that I no ye me secretary me northern region say jingli to front how I was nam say yewu say jingli si there na asem aba so can you imagine say people have traveled that far eje omo campaign ho these are members of parliament aba say omo ba betena se no watie mu mo se mo ba ya wo mo te majority side nti mo se mo ma ye ko busa mu so a wo leader wo si akwankyere nti ontena ho o say spiritual so how
ebemina is spiritually weak
so better wo so ne say spirit be no the ruling country
but for David mu so the court no o ka say per die esi wo parliament no o ma be minority affidavit ni akrata na we so ata ho no
sa na otwere
wo
me nu ehwe
ana lawyer me boa
me pa chow wo say spiritual but me question me busan say nyame be ho spiritual ehia me pa onyame na ye nyina ye som no wo soro na na wo ni nyame foforo bi because onyame na menim no dia wa pa MPP woni wo mun ni covenant bio $58 million musimu si dan ama no e bi akodu ni ti ama ne momo mobo nyame din
sadane statue
na wo kro wetimi ya statue ama ho ne Yakobon de wantimi ansi dan ama no Kwame asemu e wati bi da otemase inti no so affidavit say minority o said then you what a friend is 7 December me tom bi e da hey wintimi me stay execution Ghana fo nyirara be kwa akoto abatia wo mo Ghana fo mo nko polling station obie no obetimi a stay mo tom execution otemase we say minority na ho akra na be parliament o say majority minority wo mo ntra ho no mo pass wo mo budget ne
be
na we fa wo ho be wo me metu kwaya ambase me baba betanse no aye wo government the government mpo ewen
o so manya amafo enya o maketua
o manya amafo nya den
enya o maketua
o na se ayi wo ho ayi benchmark wo ho ye tuetu ankofo ye tuatu 2 cities obi anim se ye tuatu 2 cities u hia se obeba beye o ti asinti ye tuetu eno no mo ka de e betimi tuetu ankofo ka loans no mo de ahyehye mo beji akodi no mo mane wo ho na o mo beye den obi etuk ana woni petrol bo his excellency John Dramani Mahama time na gallon of petrol 14 cedis and 72 gallon say ufri not a bar ufri upper west UMP upper west ufele wo car na ka kwan nti kwan so kra mu ntimi nya nti say nipa no use V8 ye ka 20 gallons
wow so 72
yes times 20 yes inti sa wo ba na ba be dru be se borgan finfini ho ba bi se top up and over top up be 4 gallon 5 gallons o ba be dru Kumasi by that time no now would that red
that's right
they say we fill another 20 o ba be dru kran no na maybe wo kota ye kika sika we nyina abom yesen ya o mo ba na MPP for mo sika so mo fan top petrol na manantie me took the risk involved full anifo mo wo kwam anadwonantie maba bedru ha we say me buy it at the MPP for mo fu say you friend say Ghana ya appendage headquarters wo MPP mo say mo buy no ye buy mo tie yintini entena se what you say mo bi da mo de mo entena se kwa na speaker and resolve matter no because you say obien ho betimi accuse speaker say wentie Supreme Court asem because ye wo standing orders for parliament ye de ye adwuma ye wo quorum ye de ehhehye mra ye wo quorum de ye discussion ye de siginaye quorum de siginaye bi ni ho mo so Supreme Court ba ye de me so o ma hyehye o mo gan akese ne week untitimi so lawyers wo fie ho adentina mo ntena se na mo mbo sa clauses no na munya amicable solution na me wofa kofo kan o say bagbin should show leadership na mra ho pa because Babu onye nipa ketewa Speaker of Parliament. Second, onye number 3.
Well, number 2. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And number 3.
And yet 3. So no one can't train.
Yes, onim. Ono so jeja no ya no ma error abem. Enyo no na akoye we ya mankwafu enya hom ka so me ayi.
Se Ghana nti.
Nkwafu omo nim Ghana nti. Omo nim Ghana nti. Ma fan time mo ho be so ka bro.
That's why you speak.
Debi wo nim Ghana nti. Ka kire me se MPP for wa wudi wani beto se MPP for nim Ghana nti de omo boa. Otima se ye wo kra bi wo ho a wo pa aduane adi oba no abede da na so no ye meow. Onye aduane di wetin obetin no. Ma we shouldn't make a mistake. Se nkrofo we dwi ga omo ba Ghana de no ma ye yen. Omo sori a free SHS. Kwame so ko school na se wo ye 10 subjects. Ne ba ko pe na atimi ka ho asem mfeli ye. Ba ko no kra mpo no wa nya 80% 90%. Wunya abesimal figure 50. Na dia ka nyina wa feli a because omo feli omo kasa de bia free SHS free SHS bibie ni ho omo kan free SHS okay ne yeso so aye ni free SHS ni bi ne ye mani free SHS yeso ye chefa ne de omo kan ye chefa nkire o ye chefa ene ne de hene de bia free SHS omo timi ye ho conference na omo akofa nkola ba free SHS me see his excellency John Dramani Mahama so no antimi nya me metumi ho so mpesika ma me na minye free SHS conference. Me pesi ansa ne be ko election ye pesi ye tie ye friend saying mothers and father owo fo ye tie yes ye kone ko tie wo ma se achechefo dom so si be yi o bedi ti o mo nkasa mothers ye de o mo be good dem o physicians and surgeons ha so o mo so o mo mpene a ye timi de o mo ko excellency John Dramani Mahama yard num wa no office wo ni obi ani jurisdiction na ye ntie wo ma sem what they are going through near record it na MPP for Ghana for nyina ntie bi because they be almost ready de adwa ya suma free SHS about 12 fees 500 cedis na mother father have spent 7,000. What is that
anyway my so lawyer
me pa cho me lawyer oko school or not as oko school or not when him say free SHS started one
that's right
jo mara no kire wo ma de ya ma wo mu books what you say mo uniform mo sandals started or not and is the blueprint of the CPP.
I agree.
Yes, Kwame Nkrumah. Mo ba ma be ye ne basa
anyway so BSC parliament is what culminated into a man for adwin say we can no longer have confidence in the judiciary. That's a no be mebru bi din komo and they were like oh na to where ya kwen wie o quarter we yiri si ebedi abo wa na say ebedi etia
mo Ibrahim kura hyehyɛ ama wo
one so de ne di aba e kire say amanfo ejidie aba form
that is in the judiciary.
Mamintio, yeah, as in the judiciary.
I think Kwame, again you have to look at where we come from and where we have gotten to this stage. We all woke up to the gory reportage of Anna some years back in terms of how some judges conducted themselves in relation to bribe taking, associated even with good taking and stuff like that. I think these were events that should have prompted us as a country that something was wrong with our judiciary. And for the NDC and President Mills of blessed memory, we responded to that challenge by trying to be as nationalistic as possible in terms of our appointments to the judiciary. And that is why even up till date, you will hear NDC people accusing NDC functionaries and especially President Mills and President Mahama of not appointing NDC inclined judges to the Supreme Court. Because we understood that this fourth Republican democracy is our baby. And we made a commitment as a party, and even reflects that in our party's anthem, where we said that we shall, from victory unto victory, the NDC shall build a stable democracy.
That's right.
We shall lead a stable democracy. So we understood that to lead that stable democracy, we needed to go beyond the partisanship and focus more on nationalistic views. And so even in terms of our appointments, we were clouded by the nationalistic underpinnings. It had nothing to do with partisan considerations. Fast forward, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came into office. all the gains the NDC made in terms of rebranding the judiciary, we saw an erosion from the word go when he started appointing not just NPP apparatchiks, but in fact failed parliamentary candidates on the ticket of the NPP onto the Supreme Court bench. And interestingly, when we raised concerns, civil society thought that we were kidding.
Yeah.
Today, look at where we are. Yeah. If you look at 90% of the judges at the Supreme Court, most of them were appointed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So he just did not appoint partisan affiliates to the Supreme Court. He has also succeeded in packing the Supreme Courts. What that simply means is that it gives the sitting Chief Justice the luxury to fetch into the pool and appoint people that can be sympathetic to the ruling government to sit on cases. That is where we are, And that is what people are not
using the digitalization.
Yes, that is why people, because if you are preaching digitalization, what it simply means is that digitalization rather makes the work less burdensome on human beings. So you would need lesser hands.
Yeah.
So that is even enough justification for you to have kept the numbers at the Supreme Court lower.
That's true.
But you have rather increased it, largely because of your political motivations. And what made the matters even worse was the unfortunate declaration of the Chief Justice. You see, when we talk of judicial independence, this is important. It is not a privilege to the judiciary. It is actually a basic right to the Ghanaian people. Because they must be confident that this institution is independent. But when you look at the posture of our judges and you make reference to judicial independence, they feel that it is a privilege unto them. No, it is actually a right to the Ghanaian people that the judiciary must be independent and must be seen as such. But when you appoint a Chief Justice from the Court of Appeal, in no time to the Supreme Court, and in less than 2 years, Chief Justice, when there are other seniors on the bench, it raises fundamental issues of trust in the judiciary. That's one fundamental issue. When you sidestep all other seniors to appoint, people can begin to have their own concerns.
But how does that culminate into impartiality?
I'll get there.
On the side of the judges.
I'll get there. You see, now, the first act of the Chief Justice, her ladyship Tokono, listen to what she said when she delivered the speech at the IBA, and that borders on judicial independence. He says, "We are especially grateful to His Excellency the President for the strong support we have received from the Office of the President. The culmination of his support is the presence of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, who will be officially opening the vibrary, a lawyer and champion of justice." This is our Chief Justice speaking highly of our President. A lawyer and champion of justice. The President's name is definitely etched in the legal history of this country as a most distinguished legal practitioner. His belief in the rule of law, this is important, has been evident during his tenure. And the Judicial Service of Ghana has been a happy beneficiary of his exceptional levels of physical and technological infrastructure during his period. Exceptional.
Wow.
This is a Chief Justice speaking highly of his sitting president and saying that his what's the name? His belief in the rule of law is comparable to.
But is it wrong?
It is, because you see, this is the man in charge of the executive power of this country. On daily basis, you would have citizens of this country questioning his acts as president and acts of institutions that are under him. And so if already your mindset is that this is a man who makes no wrong, this is a man who believes in the rule of law and respects it, how can you be impartial in your judgment when you are already seated with this kind of mentality? Because anytime Nana Addo's issues are brought before you, your mind on him is already made up. So you'll be looking for evidence to consolidate your own position about the man. And that is why that declaration was problematic. And so, for me, this is not surprising. Again, when you look at the conduct of the judiciary under her, since she assumed office, look at the number of cases that have gone before her, including the LGBTQ case. As we speak today, the case has been run for over a year now.
That's right.
The Supreme Court has not deemed it important to resolve that matter. But an issue of vacancy of seat, we have given it the speed of light under her leadership. Again, that is strange. But mostly, this is important.
Could that not be as a result of representative?
It cannot be, because we have made references to the issues of Saul. In the last election, as we speak, there are still some communities in the Volta region who have not been represented, largely because of the recklessness and wickedness of this current electoral commissioner, Jim Mensah. And as we speak, the cases are still in court. Chachuchi Keta moves from one court to the other, struggling to uphold the rights of these citizens. The judiciary didn't deem it appropriate to expedite action on those cases. So what would your basis for telling us that you needed to expedite action on this particular case when we are dealing with just 4 MPs whose absence will not affect the functioning of parliament, if it is not political? So when you conduct yourself in this manner and people begin to ask questions and doubt the legitimacy or independence of the judiciary, they are grounded in fact. And so for some of us, that is the worry. Again, my brother, we are dealing with emotions, and as a chief justice, your conduct is important. I've heard so many people complain. Now we monitor their activities live. I've heard so many people complain about her demeanor. And even as lawyers, these are things they teach us. Your demeanor is linked to your ethics.
Wow.
And so your posturing is important in terms of your practice of the law. Because a particular posturing could give the wrong impression that you are biased in favor of another group of people, litigants who are before you. And so if you look at the conduct of the Chief Justice, many people branded her conduct, especially on the day that Thaddeus Sori appeared before her, as being simply confrontational. And the demeanor, the body language was not exciting to watch.
But as a lawyer, are these things not expected? Are these don't these things happen in court?
No, they can happen in court. But when it comes to somebody like the Chief Justice, who is supposed to be an epitome of independence, much is expected of her. Neutrality is expected of her. It is very important. And you see, and that is why we are having these discussions. Because you see, tomorrow, if there is a need for us to protect the sanctity of the judiciary, all these issues will come to play for the next government to take that decision. And it is important for us to put it in perspective. And for me, who says that the judiciary is more powerful than the Parliament of Ghana or the executive? The Constitution did not suggest that. We are dealing with 3 independent bodies who must work together under the principle of checks and balances to ensure that our democracy progresses. No one arm is powerful than the other. Let us not create the impression that the judiciary is more powerful than Parliament. It is not true. How can a judiciary be more powerful than the representative of the people? Because when you look at Parliament, Parliament is a microcosm or a reflection of the entire country.
That's right.
So, in principle, Parliament should rather have been seen to be more powerful. But because we run a constitutional supremacy, we say that the Constitution is supreme.
To be any lane.
You understand? So everybody should be in his or her lane.
Separation of powers.
But you see, and that's the essence of separation of powers. So you do not, when the Constitution makes provisions for us to foster separation of powers, the least the judiciary can do is to uphold them. That is why many legal experts, including former Supreme Court judges, have raised concerns about the assumption of jurisdiction even in this particular case. Because if you look at the legal precedents, there is no way that the Supreme Court should have assumed jurisdiction in this case, especially when you have Article 93. What's the name? Is it 99? 99.
Yes.
You have Article 99. The proper forum should have been the High Court. And if you look at Article 97 again, there's a fundamental issue. Kwame, finally, let me quickly make this. You see, it is not every, the Supreme Court has held in a number of cases that it is not every matter dressed as an interpretation of the Constitution. That is actually interpretation of the Constitution. And I'm just reading 97G. It says, if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party, or operational word, or seeks to remain in parliament as an independent member. So you cannot use seek to remain in parliament and interpret it to mean join another party. They are not the same things. It says when you do this or when you do this.
Yeah.
So the question we are asking, even strictly under G, is that is there evidence that some of the MPs have abandoned their earlier parties and they have joined another party? Yes. It doesn't matter whether they seek to remain in this parliament or the next parliament.
Notice of poll, naturally.
The notice of poll is an official record.
Yeah.
It's there. They have joined. So you do not even need interpretation.
The age is clear.
And the age too is clear. When you leave an independent, when an independent joins a party, it is also very clear. So what interpretation are you assuming? And you see, another worrying trend was the preoccupation.
As you're wrapping up.
Yes. Because remember you heard the Chief Justice say that, but what kind of country is it? Even Parliament cannot sit because of this. And the sorry had to remind her, prompt her that no, it is not true that Parliament cannot sit. The reason why we are here today is not because Parliament cannot sit. Parliament is sitting. Parliament is simply on recess. So that is the kind of operational mentality they had to assume jurisdiction, which is faulty. Are you getting the point? And that is why we are raising concerns. And you see, when we talk of independence, we have seen the work of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and that is the reason why the judiciary should have been careful. And it will be unfair on the part of the NDC or any political commentator to lump the judiciary as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I can assure you that on a daily basis, we have discussions with a number of judges, and many of them are embarrassed and are concerned about the future of the judiciary of this country. I can assure you. So it will be unfair for us to say that the judiciary of this country is not working. There are many of our compatriots out there who still uphold the principles of independence, who try, regardless of their political positions, to be concerned or to be championing the national interest. And there are many of them out there who are complaining.
But the bad nuts are making it hard for us to see.
Of course, they are making it hard. It is expected. It is expected. But you see, there is hope. There is hope. Kwame, I can assure you that. There's change is coming pretty much soon. And that is one interesting thing about democracy. When that change comes, I see the possibility of the NDC not just resetting the economy of this country. The NDC will reset all these institutions. And when that time comes, let no one scream witch hunting. I have always maintained that if there are witches, they must be hunted. And at this stage of our democracy, there are witches.
Which must be hunted.
They must be hunted.
Wow.
From the Electoral Commission through to the judiciary, there are bad nuts that we must ensure that through investigation, we bring them out to save the sanctity of these institutions. Because we will not allow Nana Addo to hand over to us a poison system and expect us to run with that poison system. We will treat the system before we proceed. That I can assure you.
Okay, hand over and imagine we see Trump and Biden and almost share White House. Almost share when they tia well. Okay, hand over and common yetia. We use Mahama Nana Addo sana mo. Omo komo so be ya ho. Se ye koduru sada.
Nana Addo kwada hwe awon ma. So hand over man no. Nti maybe obemo ayi obi foforo na aye. So ntimi hand over man no anambwa.
Sad waka.
Nti bia ndi.
Ya dey komodi sie no.
Me dey me easy asem say
you have an attorney general who directly engages with clients from the opposite side and engage in all kinds of unethical things, and you expect your judiciary to be independent. It cannot be.
Yes, more. You didn't come on this, you know. Unfortunately, you better know. As one.
Electoral Commission has make us so making sure so you're writing, especially the statistics that is needed.
Yeah.
Because the polling stations, to me, how many people are on the roll in the register at every polling station? Because on 1 year registration, so those numbers should be brought. Messiah Jubia say, "Oh, call capacity." Yen selecting crop will be no more for white sheet.
That's right.
No more kind nipa voting. Will be nipa 5 vote and no I no chem. Sir, on your own manual. Near to me account, say near be be in your vote pardon. Now, I dear back one debate no say. As I said, Manase, a so dear, my journalist beer.
Manase,
yes. Or the other so dear, my journalist beer with DMPP for which. What am I say? Manase mrebi nyo na kɔtwerɛ Ford ho asɛm
wɔyɛ sa investigation
Ford
yeah
ɛkɔfa nsɛm bebrebe Excellency Mahama ɔkɔtwerɛ Excellency Mahama book no ɔyɛ den ɔkɔtɔ bi wa amane bo amfu no
yeah
nti enne deɛ bɛ na asi the same Manase was so etu kurom ha this all your journalists ne sɛ udi wɔn akyi a wohu so abɔdwe sɛ oyɔnko abɔdwe sɛ ɛhyia no asensuo
udi enum
udi enum
bedase
na ye wet na agent mi ameka Manase Azuri awuni Ford car nyina ye TV ye kura be kan ye CPP e man sem bebre sim ye yi nkrofo adi because ebinum de o ma no kokotum e man sem pi bai enne woso wadwane.
Well, very well, Lawyer Hamza. Thank you very much, and I feel so. Mami, Nana, Gentler.
Next time we'll meet. I'll be speaking to you.
Next week we are meeting.
Next week we're shocking. We're feeling keen. I will see a minimum here. Chanya mi adoma ebese chia. Bye bye.